.com/commercials.
British Foreign Secretary James Cleverly meeting with Chinese officials in Beijing. It's the first such visit to China by the UK's top diplomat in 5 years.
At the beginning of their meeting at the Great Hall of the People, China's Vice President Han Zheng said China-UK cooperation delivered mutual benefits. In an interview later, Mr. Cleverly said he fundamentally disagreed with MPs, including some of his good friends, who'd called for disengagement with Beijing. He told me he believed the UK had influence in China and should use that influence. Asked about China potentially supplying equipment to Russia, which could be used to support its war effort in Ukraine, Mr. Cleverly said Beijing should not be seen to be even passively supporting Moscow's invasion.
The BBC's Stephen McDonnell. Fighting among Palestinians in a northern West Bank refugee camp, one Palestinian man was killed. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Seems that skepticism about vaccines is infectious, spreading to those with canine companions.
A new study shows a majority of dog owners are growing more skeptical about the use of vaccines for their pets' health, including the vaccine to prevent rabies. 52% responding to a survey in the medical journal Vaccine expressed doubts about the safety, effectiveness, and necessity of vaccines. Pet owners who feel that way are said to have a case of canine vaccine hesitancy, or CVH. Some officials fear a rise in CVH cases may lead to a corresponding rise in dogs spreading rabies to humans. Bob Agnew reporting.
Tesla is allowing some drivers to use its autopilot driver assist system for extended periods without making them put their hands on the steering wheel. It's a development that has drawn concern from the feds. They're asking Tesla to provide more information on a software update. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy not Monday, not Tuesday, but right. Middle of the week.
Throw them up. Throw up your W's.
Of course, it's all sun now. Like all little hopes of rain. Not around for the next couple days.
You just couldn't even go like 20. I think you enjoy it. I personally think you get off on it.
I just enjoy rain coming.
Yeah, no, you get off on the bad news.
I know.
You're a real bad news bear.
Could be worse. Could be like how them people in Florida doing right now with the hurricane that's going on through there, as you can see. So they're getting rain, but not so much with us.
Certainly are.
Of course, the moment. Oh, there it goes.
Idalia?
Of course, the moment they've been talking about the hurricanes and stuff, then I pointed up there. I think that's the one time they weren't.
Well, yeah, but they can't see that.
But happy Wednesday. You know what?
Hurricane Vidalia is sweetly spicing up its way across at the East Coast. Yeah,
it's in Florida.
Yeah.
Idalia, is that what's called?
Idalia.
I don't know.
Idalia.
Yeah.
By the way, I gotta ask, where in and I know that you're from not this part of the country, but I've never in my entire life heard somebody called Angelica.
Oh, really?
Yes, not ever.
I've heard it here.
I've heard Angelica.
No, I've heard
but I've
people
never
say
heard Angelica.
I have.
And it was here,
weirdly
That's bugged me for days now.
Yeah?
I'm like, Where did he hear Angelica?
I've heard people say it. I think they're trying to fancify it up, like they're trying to start a rap career or something.
Sure,
but
I mean, I've heard that name maybe in like the same neighborhoods that I would hear like LaMontagne,
Yeah, it's not often, but I'd heard a few people, so it's all spelled the same. I just wanted to get a confirmation.
It's literally like for day. Like I was sitting on my couch watching something last night. I'm like, how did he think Angelica? Like it's been bothering me for days.
Really?
Now.
I've heard people say Angelica.
It's just it threw me off.
You know what though? Speaking of popularity and things,
yeah.
I feel like I saw an article right before I came on the show, and for me personally, it gives a slight sliver of hope for humanity.
Oh.
Slight sliver.
It's giving hope.
So I would agree. I think all of us could agree one of the biggest, hottest summer tickets for concerts.
Taylor Swift. The Eras Tour. Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, in case you haven't known, if you watch football, the LA Rams, they play in SoFi Stadium, relatively new stadium last year or two.
Sophie?
Yeah. Well, Taylor Swift had the record.
Really?
For selling that is most people in that building with, I think, 73,000 or something like that. Something like that. The building has a capacity of 70,240. She managed to get like 74,000 in or something like that. Because I'm guessing the way the
standing
stage
room
is set
only,
up.
sure. And then she's also got tickets on the field.
Yes.
Like then that's how wrestling events do it too, because they have a small ring and they can added seats on the field.
Yeah. So she has the record.
Sure.
Had the record. Had the record.
Metallica.
Someone else started a little tour this weekend.
I saw. Actually,
well, they didn't start this weekend, but
they're continuing. I saw one of my friends posted pictures from this world tour.
Oh, in Arlington? They were in Arlington a week or two ago.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess they were in L.A. over the weekend.
Sure.
And they now have the record at SoFi Stadium.
We're talking about Metallica.
Yes.
If Mike's talking about music, it's going to be Metallica.
So Metallica, Taylor Swift, arguably probably.
Are you sure it's Metallica? Because I've actually known people named Metallica.
Well, not these guys.
Oh, okay.
But they now, I think they did like 78,000. And they both did a two-night thing where they put over 160,000 plus in there in 2 days.
Sure.
But this is how they did it. Mm-hmm. So Metallica, they do their stage in the round, in the middle, in the center, and so that people fill. So that gives little field seats there.
On either side, on starboard, port and starboard too.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
This particular tour set is a ring. It's not a circle.
They did it.
Round. So there's people in the middle of them. So in the middle of the stage is a spot for fans to sit or stand. Yeah. In another snake pit, basically right there in the middle of the stage while they're around them playing.
That's insane.
Yes.
That's a crazy
And they crowbarred more
set.
people in the SoFi Stadium and broke the record because of that.
That's fantastic. We're going to horseshoe a ring. When you said ring, I got legitimately excited. I'm like, wait, they're doing it in a wrestling ring?
No, a ring.
Okay.
Like the middle of the stage is hollow where they put fans in there.
That's fantastic. I'm trying to imagine how that staging works.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy.
Because once you're in the ring, right?
And then yeah. Well, I'm guessing they let them in prior to the concert.
Sure.
And Metallica guys, they come through the crowd.
Hope you're wearing a diaper.
Like I saw them in Lubbock, and they also had their stage in the round in the center.
I just imagine some guy hopping up on stage. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the merch booth.
But it's really kind of like they busted, the tunnel where the basketball players and everybody comes out. Mm-hmm. They come out there, but they work their way through the crowd. I guess they make a little path for them, obviously.
Sure.
But they come right to the crowd, right up onto the stage. Usually the beginning of the song's playing, and by the time they get up there, all the lights kick on. They boom right into the part where they kick in. So there's kind of usually a lynch, and all of a sudden they get up on the stage and then just like. Whoa!
So it was 78,000. You said?
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah. So they broke a record at SoFi Stadium.
Saying the show I watched over the weekend had 81,035 people.
Well, it could have had more, but the building only held so many.
These were the ticketed attendees. It actually held about 90,000. If we're really crunching numbers here.
Well, I could go that route too.
Just saying.
By the way, in the same article, I was reading some other stuff that people went, which was equally impressive.
Yeah.
Apparently, for a Metallica tour, they have like 40 some semi-trailer trucks full of stuff. And I don't remember the hundreds of personnel and steel workers and everybody that's involved in one tour.
It's insane the amount of like set up and tear down that is involved with a stage show, and especially when Metallica's level.
Yeah, and then I read, but I got to do some more digging because this was just in the comments, so I'm not sure if this is 100% true. I just read it, haven't fact checked it yet.
Right.
But they said apparently somebody in the band or the band themselves own a trucking company called Guardian that really their whole thing is they do concerts, trucking for concerts. They do like Def Leppard and a couple others.
Nice.
And so all that is part of the Metallica.
That makes sense. I mean, if you're attached to something and you see that somebody's making money from it, you might as well be like, well, I might as well make money from it too.
Yeah. So they really have their own trucking company that trucks the stuff. The trucks, it's, dang. Cool. Which kind of puts in perspective the stuff Greg was talking about.
Well, it's
when meeting the band and the business and all that, and kind of just solidifying. You have no idea how big the business is.
This isn't exactly like one for one a great comparison, but it's kind of like how Little Caesars can make a much cheaper pizza because they own the company that like ships the ingredients to the restaurants.
Gotcha.
They own the trucking company.
Okay.
So they can ship at cost essentially to themselves. So that's why they were able to keep their costs down. So yeah, it makes sense. If you own the company that ships your stuff, that definitely keeps the costs at minimum.
And that allows Little Caesars to spend more money on marketing for their commercials. Mm-hmm. That's why they got all them funny commercials.
They're real good at it.
Most of them. There's a couple stinkers.
There's a couple that are just like, what were you guys thinking?
A couple of them are pretty funny though.
I feel like it's the same marketing team that does like the commercials for Skittles.
Yeah.
Because they're very like tongue-in-cheek humor.
I just wish that there really was a thing called Big Pete's and they rode around in like 70s style limousines and then gold phones and everything like that.
I can't remember what I was watching the other day, but it was talking about how like an emu is like one of the most like destructive like birds. It's like a bird of prey, and all I could think about was Limu Emu. It's like how much danger Doug is in. At any given time, Limu could just lose his mind and just go talons up.
That's right. And he's supposed to represent insurance.
I know.
Protect you.
It's super unsafe you hanging out with an emu.
Here's our big, you can trust us mascot, the Komodo dragon that will eat its own.
Every time I see an animal on a screen, I'm like, that animal has no desire to be there right now. They look so upset and bored that they're there.
Yeah, except for that gecko. That gecko is just articulate. All right, let me give you the rundown.
That is a topic for another day because I got all kinds of weird info, like the MGM lion.
Right.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah, I've read some stuff about the lion. Yeah, there's a thing about that too. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, I do, but I have to tell you off the air because it's
So let me give you the rundown for today's show because I need to get one interview going here rather rapidly. We're gonna here in just a few minutes. We're gonna play an interview. Marty. That's how I say it. Because I can't say her full name, so we just call her Marty.
I found you can get away with a lot by just put a miss in front of
Miss
stuff.
Marty, yeah.
Yeah, Miss Marty.
But Marty Manchenko going to join us. She has been in a while. Tai Chi for Health. She does the Tai Chi for Health classes here in Roswell, Ruidoso, but she's got new classes coming. And so she joined us actually after the show yesterday for an interview. But the cool part is she brought with her one of her pupils, Bill Briney. And we don't discuss his age till the end of the interview.
Oh, because that was like his selling point.
Well, I just didn't think about it. I was just talking, the older gentleman. And then it was like, ask him how old he is. And then so I'm going to leave it like I left it for me, and I'll just wait because we're gonna have this whole conversation and then talk about what he does, and then you'll find out how old he is, and you're gonna like, dang, I should do stuff. So. So we're going to play our interview with Marty here and Bill in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Big Brothers Big Sisters for Southeast Mexico scheduled to join us, give us an update there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Ted Smith going to join us wearing his American Legion Post 61 hat, giving us an update on what they've got going on through Legion stuff there. Plus, we'll have all of your normal features that include the news and weather and all that good stuff. Before we do anything else, let's take a look at that weather. Sorry, I spoiled it earlier. No rain talk, just 90s and 100s later on.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good through the holiday weekend. High pressure and dry air in place. It will be pretty hot, though. Our afternoon high today in the low to mid-90s. Lots of sunshine. Clear tonight, and we're in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and we stay sunny. We're expecting low 100s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Labor Day. Should get lots of sun. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68%. Winds are currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. Sunny and 94 today. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 66 degrees. Love that part. Love these not 70s overnight lows. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny and a high of 100 for you Thursday. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 69 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and a high of 101. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at the weekend, sunny and 100 for Saturday. Sunny and 99 for Sunday. And then for your Labor Day on Monday, sunny and hot highs right around 100 degrees. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Marty and Bill with Tai Chi for Health, talking about their upcoming classes and all that. Don't go away.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
It's upgrade season at Roswell Honda. Pre-owned vehicles are in incredibly high demand, and that means more than ever before for your trade. And with the Roswell Honda upgrade program, they'll go the extra mile for you. They'll buy your vehicle outright, or you can trade up, even if you still owe money on your old vehicle. Upgrade to something new, or take the instant cash. And with 0.9% APR available, lease a 2023 Honda Civic or CR-V for just $259 a month. Now's the time to upgrade and save at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, back to talk some more Tai Chi for Health, Marty Pacheco back with us. Also brought one of her is student the right word, or would be pupil, or one of your members of your class, we could say. Longtime member Bill Briney as well. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
Good.
Morning. Very
Good.
well.
So for first before we kind of talk about your next set of classes and stuff, talk a little bit about your class and your Tai Chi for beginners. To really, you do it everything from, if you've never. You're like, I just learned the word Tai Chi yesterday. Or if you've been doing this for years, you really can help people regardless. Whether they're practicing in Tai Chi, you can help them, go to the next level or go to the next, whatever they're trying to do, or shift their priorities to whatever they're trying to achieve through Tai Chi. Right. Or if you're like you said, I haven't, done any kind of, my exercise was I went to the gym and hit a couple of those weight benches and things like that and called it good. You can help these folks with Tai Chi, and the great part about it, Bill, is you really do focus on seniors and folks like that think that maybe they've kind of passed that point where it's like, nah, I've already hit that I'm old and it's just old things that are happening now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so I guess for you, I gotta ask you, Bill, how did you get started? What made you say I'm going to reach out to Marty here and do some Tai Chi?
Well, I've always been an active person.
But as time goes by, you get older and stiffer. And
no matter how hard we try to avoid that, it happens, doesn't it? Yeah.
I walked dogs and did some long-distance walking.
Okay.
I never was a golfer or anything like that. But as I got older, I began to feel that I was getting stiff, and I learned about Tai Chi because it was supposed to help limber up the joints.
Sure.
And a gentle type of treatment for arthritis, which I had.
Okay.
And so I learned of the Tai Chi here about 4 years ago, I believe.
So you've been at it for about 4 years now?
Just about 4 years, I would say.
So I've got to ask, in your 4 years, what's some of the biggest differences, things you've noticed in yourself in that time you've been doing Tai Chi?
Well, it's twofold. There's a mental thing about it.
Okay.
I come to the class and I'm kind of glumpy and grabby, and but then I brighten up. It's just a cheerful thing.
So it kind of puts you. So I mean, part of it's a social thing.
That's right.
Like you get to come and meet some people. Like you've been doing it for 4 years. So I imagine you built some friendships.
That's right.
In the class and stuff.
So that's part of it.
Okay.
And then the rest of it is I actually experience. I'm getting a little better.
You're more flexibility.
More flexibility.
A little less pain in some of these joints and things like that.
So it has twofold there.
Good deal. So do you still walking the dogs and everything?
Well,
getting your walks in?
no, that's unfortunately. I have other problems too. I have a visual problem.
Okay, so you can walk, you just bump into
macular degeneration.
Okay.
So I don't have.
I have that problem too.
I don't have very good vision. So my wife does all the walking with the dog, but I can still do Tai Chi even though I don't see very well.
Well, you don't need to see to do Tai Chi. You just got to feel it and let it go. That's the beauty of it. And I have the same problem. That's why they don't let me call football games anymore. You sit up in that bleachers trying to see the numbers, and I'm like, you're lucky I can see there's a person on the field. But anyway, I know your pain, sir. So, Marty, talk a little bit, because what Bill's going through is something that I think that every person that's probably spent more than one class with you have probably experienced some of these same kind of results that Bill's has seen in his 4 years.
Right. Well, this program that I teach is Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention.
Gotcha. So this isn't, and this is something we want to state. It's a martial art.
Right.
Absolutely. And in the same vein as what you hear with karate or taekwondo or some of these others. But the difference with Tai Chi is we're teaching the side that it's about the movements, there is a self-defense aspect, I guess, if you want to take it that way. But this is really more about you in touch with your body. It's kind of like you shutting everything else out and just your brain zoning in on what your body's doing.
Right.
And that's really what Tai Chi is. It's not so much, yes, it's the movements, but it's you consciously thinking and doing these movements what makes it work.
Right.
Am I right there?
There is a meditative aspect to it in that it's very slow.
Gotcha.
And the great thing about that physically is when we're moving quite slow is the incremental movements help the joints better. It accesses the small muscle groups. It accesses the fluid system, which nourishes these joints that get stiff or hurt.
Sure.
When we do grosser movement, like walking or weightlifting, bigger muscle, grosser muscle, bigger muscle group, it doesn't reach into the smaller tissue in the body. And so this is beautiful.
So it's not really like doing like when you work out, you're kind of breaking down your muscles and building them back up. Right. And that's why you have the pain and things. This just works a little differently. Is that a fair
pain
statement?
is not. No, we don't go into the pain aspect. As a matter of fact, I have a participant agreement form which says if you are uncomfortable or say you must let me know.
Gotcha. Sure.
But so that's the
But it works differently.
aspect.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, and there's the mental aspect. And Tai Chi itself, this is there's 5 major families, and this is Sun style.
Okay.
And Sun style is newer. Tai Chi was initiated about 1,000 years ago.
Yeah,
more.
These are all ancient forms of martial arts. These weren't just picked up yesterday.
And the Kung Fu masters were the elite fighting force.
Okay.
And before they would do their Kung Fu practice, they would do 2 hours of Tai Chi.
Okay.
Before their practice.
That was their warm-up to get into the Kung Fu.
That was their warm-up,
Gotcha.
getting into the strength and the power of
Gotcha.
things.
So it's really about the core and just strengthening the inner side, the inner part of your body.
You strengthen core. You also strengthen external muscles. You become more aware of your posture, which is beautiful. It affects breathing. It helps with anxiety. sleep disorders, balance issues. This was this particular program is the flagship program of the Tai Chi for Health Institute. And I'll give the information out about that too.
But here's the thing too, I think people don't realize is that, we can't medically walk on and say this is going to help with other afflictions like blood pressure and things like that. Like we can't say that, because results are different for everybody. However, what I can say is people that have high blood pressure and some of these other issues do Tai Chi and they find those numbers go down too.
Right. Well, that's why this particular program, first, the Veterans Administration now has the word out, and they have agreed that Tai Chi is highly recommended for veterans for brain injury, for stress trauma.
They're finally putting some science behind it.
For everything. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of science behind it.
Releasing the science behind it, I guess they could say.
They're paying attention to it now, I guess. But the Center for Disease Control and the Arthritis Foundation also highly recommends this program.
Sure.
And now the thing that's interesting about arthritis is the highest group. Now, this is a 3 or 4 year old figure, but the highest group of increased arthritis is young people between 18 and 35.
Okay.
And they think that it is diet related.
Okay.
It's not other arthritis.
Okay.
But there's inflammation like crazy in our world.
So I was thinking things like maybe we just spend more time behind computers and things than we used to.
That too. Yeah.
A lot of time doing this and doing that. And
yeah. But because Tai Chi is actually based on Chinese medicine, what we're also doing is we're supporting organs when we're doing the movements that move around acupuncture points, basically.
Sure.
And so not only does it help the physical structure, it also will support heart health and lung health, liver, kidneys, brain. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot of brain challenges in Tai Chi in the beginning with the upper and the newer, and you're learning something new, and how do I keep this going, and how do I make this careful step? So,
and I think, and this is just me spitballing here, I think, well, first off, for people that may be listening and thinking, okay, this sounds good, but is it, legit, you know what I mean, like legit? And some people, Western medicine, we are trained to say, here's a pill, take the pill, this pill makes you better. That's kind of Western medicine's sort of,
it's a gross
go-to
statement now, because I have to tell you, I have several doctors, including my osteopathic nurse, who highly recommends this program.
And this is what I'm saying.
So medical doctors are now recommending this program.
This is what I'm saying, and what I was kind of getting to is like, well, the Eastern medicine, the stuff we're talking about, civilizations for thousands and thousands of years have been doing this.
Yeah.
Things like that don't stick around unless it works. Right. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And so, yes, we live here and we kind of have this ideology. You go to the doctor, get the meds and all that. And I'm not saying there's not a place for that. There absolutely is.
Sure.
But I'm thinking we could probably do a lot of this first before we go talking about that. And you'll probably see marginal, if not huge results and changes for the better in your health for that type of stuff.
Well, the interesting story behind this particular program, and Dr. Lamb started this program. He initiated it in 2010, and he was born in China, and his family immigrated when he was 13.
Okay.
And it was a very traumatic situation for him as a child over there and his family. So I'm saying that because he has a very big heart, always wanted to help, and he ended up going to medical school. He wanted to become a medical doctor and help as many people as he could.
Sure.
Well, by the time he graduated, he had such extreme arthritis, he could hardly move. His pain was excruciating. And so
it was to the point where he was debilitated.
Yes, he was. Well, he moved forward.
Hard
he
to function.
Graduated from medical school in '74. He started practicing Tai Chi. Could not believe the difference it made for him. Well, he ended up traveling to China and stayed there for a year and dived into the world and the different forms and the learning of Tai Chi. And so and again, he continued to improve, and he did his medical work, and he had these colleagues that were all interested in doing also Tai Chi. And so he ended up creating the Institute in 2010 because he wanted to have small programs. Now, they also teach the full 72 form Sun style Tai Chi. They teach all the Yang styles and all of that. What I do is I learn to teach this very short, small program
Sure.
to make it accessible.
You're trying to get
everybody.
people's foot in the door, basically,
Oh, my
and
goodness,
saying,
to help them.
let me
because-
expose you to the world of Tai Chi.
Yeah. And so you can go online, actually, and go to, well, you can Google Tai Chi for arthritis. And there are several YouTubes that'll come up, free introductions, some free programs. You can also go to the Institute. And there's always medical people in the beginning of this that say, this is what this does. This is why we support it. This is the science behind it. And give it a go.
The evidence is there.
Evidence. Well, New Mexico Department of Health, this is one of the three, I think there's two others now, 3 fall prevention programs. So that's why I have a little bit of the New Mexico Department of Health on here.
Sure.
But it is a fall prevention program also.
Yeah, so this is, obviously, some of the things we're talking about, we're kind of gearing for seniors here, but the earlier the better you start this stuff, and here's the beauty of it too. It don't matter what shape you're in. I don't care if you could barely move. If you're a senior, even if you're like, I'm plagued with knee and whatever, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can still benefit from Tai Chi.
Sure, we have. Well, Bill is currently seated.
Okay,
I'm
so you're doing some of the seated stuff.
Participant.
So,
Yes,
and that's my point is you have no excuse.
Right.
You're like, well, I'm in a wheelchair, so wheel on in and we'll do some Tai Chi. And guess what?
That's
you know what? Maybe, just maybe, you can get out of that thing sometimes now because of that.
Yeah.
And that's what if you're already in that situation. What do you got to lose? I mean, at this point, you're probably hopped up on 30 different meds, doing 20 different things, and getting marginal results. Why not say, you know what? Let me take a class here, and work on this, and see, and then you might notice that mentally, physically, and other aspects of your life start getting a little better.
Well, and once you learn the forms, you can go anywhere with it. You can take a trip. You can do it seated in a car. You can do it on an airplane. But you always have this knowledge to help you when things get tougher, when you get anxious, or you got some bad news, or you can share some of this with others. There's some very simple movements. The Sun style has Qigong, which is another Chinese movement.
Well,
but this has other stuff that's simple that you can share with other people to help with their anxiety. Whatever.
To me, in the world we live in today, and I mean, we all look at the internet and see what's going on, and airplanes and everywhere else in life, restaurants and everything else. Odds are that you're going to walk into stressful situations just because of the world we live in. This might be the tools that keep people,
right?
You know what I mean? Sane.
Oh wow! If I didn't have this during COVID, now we had a shutdown, right? And they do teach. I don't teach virtually. Tai Chi, I teach other things virtually, but Tai Chi is also, there's virtual classes that you can take.
Sure.
But if I didn't personally have this during COVID, it would have been a much harder situation.
Sure. I'm curious, were you during COVID, did you end up, because obviously being a mentor teaching, I imagine a lot of your students called, checking in, and you're giving friendly advice during
the beginning. No, we're not advice givers. We're not.
Well, you know what I mean. Just helping people when you can't be
touch.
face to face.
I did stay in touch.
Yeah.
I did stay in touch.
That's
and
important.
I'd send some information out pretty regularly, and the Institute has some free stuff, lots of free stuff available, and they still do, actually.
Yeah.
So can I go ahead and give the website out?
Yes,
and my name, my contact
Let's do, I got all philosophical. Let's talk numbers and specifics here.
Sure.
If folks want to maybe take a class, well, good news. That's why Marty's here.
Yeah.
Got some new classes starting here.
Yeah.
And for folks here in Roswell and Ruidoso, too, you've got classes there, too. So if you live there, like, I love it, but I want to travel or vice versa, then no problem. You can stay up in the mountains and the cool pines and do your Tai Chi.
That's right. Oh,
I'm a little jealous of you folks. It's really nice up there.
It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Good deal. But talk about upcoming, talk about the website first where they can learn more, and then we'll talk about the date.
Sure. Okay. So if you want to see what the heck is this, go ahead and go to Tai Chi for Health Institute .org.
Okay.
And Tai is TAI, Chi, CHI, for Health Institute.org.
And imagine if you just Google Tai Chi for Health Institute, something in those words, you'll probably see the website pop right up if you don't remember it exactly.
They are based out of Australia. We're in 32, well, maybe more now. There's been over 10 million participants in this program.
Wow.
and we are in at least 32 countries and maybe more since I checked. So anyway, yeah, that's the place to go. Feel free to call me or email me if you have any questions. So my name is Maricina Manchego, but you can call me Madi. That seems to work for a lot of
That's the one I
people.
go with because you know me and name
Madi.
butchering. I'm like, Madi.
Yeah.
It's Madi. How you doing, Madi?
Yeah, that's easier. But anyway, so you'll see my name come up, but you can call me Madi. And my phone number is 575-626-7150. My email is healthfirst, and that's HEALTH, the number 1, ST, at yahoo.com. And there's that information. And I have ongoing classes here in Roswell, Mondays and Thursdays. And the classes are from 3:30 to 4:30.
Perfect.
Now, if you come in and you just are loving this stuff and you're really rock and rolling with it and you want to take the Tai Chi 2, I also have a 30-minute after that time Tai Chi 2 class, but you would want just the first hour-long class at 3:30 Monday and or Thursday. I really recommend twice a week because it's fun.
Sure.
But you'll get the benefits if you come more often.
And you guys are at 612 West College.
Yes,
That's
we're
where you
at
guys
the
meet.
Salvation Army. They're very, very good to us over there.
Yeah.
And it's been very nice and cool. They're heat. It's just like beautiful space. Salvation Army. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Call me. So the classes are $8 a class if you pay in advance. If you want to come just drop in and check it out, it's $10.
Okay.
However, if you come to the beginning of September, for instance, and you say, I'm going to be on vacation this day, this day, this day, this day, well, then pay for those days that you're going to be there, right? So that is the Roswell information.
Okay.
And, of course, the Ruidoso information, of course, my personal information's all that. I have a different name up there.
I go by Mary up there.
Right. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, and I look very different. No.
Just dates, times, and locations are different. Everything else is the same.
Yes, everything else. So I teach at the Rare Bird Workshop, which is on 2825 Sutter Drive.
Okay.
And you can find that on internet or call me or whatever. And I teach there once a week, Thursdays from 12 to 1 p.m.
There's a lot of good places to eat lunch afterwards.
Yes,
so if you want to
yes,
do a little Tai Chi and then go to
very
lunch
nice.
afterwards.
It's very nice. Yeah, so that's how it goes. Yeah.
And then, if you, to get there early if you want to register and things.
Absolutely.
That way you've got time and all that.
If you want to come into class, you need to come in at least 15 minutes early. But give me a call quick first so I can
And
set up for
so
you.
if you're looking, and then again, we're talking everybody, old, young, in between. Yep. If you're breathing and move, then you're going to benefit from this. But if you're looking for arthritis, movement, that kind of stuff, joint issues, certainly Tai Chi. But I would, like you said, anxiety, even some of that, some of your stress, that the things that. Symptoms you feel
breathing
that
patterns,
you can't really...
Or pain.
Yeah.
Or pain. Or it's also wonderful for rehabilitation from surgery.
Sports injuries or
knee replacement. Or...
I would even think like stroke, rehab from stroke patients, things like that.
Yes, I just forwarded a medical...
benefit from that.
A report from Harvard or somewhere about how it affects stroke survivors.
I would imagine it's very
a
beneficial.
doctor friend of mine. And
It's especially for something, because I figure with like strokes and stuff, you're kind of re-establishing brain paths and things. And I think Tai Chi helps a lot with setting up the highways that travel things to and fro in your brain to where you're trying to go and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes those pathways get a little... the habit in our brain, when we have a habit, we do the same thing. The firing actually creates a groove, and it usually takes 3 weeks to create a new habit because there's new pathways being forged through the brain tissue. And you come up against, don't we come up against that?
Absolutely.
When we're in Tai Chi, it's like, oh, well, my hand wants to go there, but my brain wants to put it here. So we're always creating new possibilities in our brain.
Sure, absolutely. Now, you do this with your wife, right? Right, Bill?
Yes, my wife's also in the class.
So I imagine that helps, because the days that you're like, I'm not, and then your wife kind of kicks you in the butt, and vice versa. Days where your wife's a little and you kick her in the butt, and then you all go together.
That's right.
So bring a partner. That's always a good thing.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I've enjoyed it very much with the partner. Yeah.
Well, and then like any time you start a new program, or lifestyle change in this case, really, there's always that time where some days you're more motivated than others, and that's why I was talking about the double. That's why it's always good to do these things with another person sometimes. I mean, you're not obligated or have to if you're self-motivated, but we're human beings. We always have our bad days and days we're just not ready to do it, and sometimes that friend, partner, spouse is the one that can be the motivating factor to say, all right, we're going to get up and do some stuff today.
Yeah, and it's also, that's one of the reasons, but prepaying, because for me, it's like, I paid for this.
I paid for it, might as well go.
Right?
You ain't wrong there, but please, again, September 4th, I guess, will be the next class here, right, for here in Roswell?
What is today? No, Thursday. It's a continuous.
Oh, it's continuous. Okay, I'm looking at dates on here.
Yeah, this is just the September, October information.
But come on out to the Salvation Army 612 West College.
Right.
Again, you can come on down here in Roswell each Tuesday.
Monday and Thursday in Roswell.
I'm sorry, I was looking for the thing, I couldn't find it.
And Thursdays in Ruidoso also.
There you go, that's where I get. I was trying to look.
Can we do my phone number?
My eyes are bad. Absolutely.
For those people, be safe while you're driving, if you're driving. My phone number is 575-626-7150. You can look up Tai Chi for Health Institute, and it will take you there. And on the Institute, there's a search for instructors, too.
Yeah.
So if you don't even live here, go ahead and if you want to find an instructor in your area, search your area and find instructors. But I will come up for teaching in Roswell. We haven't managed to get the website to open up to let me be in.
Gotcha. Well, there's only one Mahdi, so.
Yeah, there's one Mahdi. Thank goodness.
But please, check this out. Get involved. I think, to be honest, I think this might be the thing that creates a lot of great opportunity in
Can
your
get
life.
us through.
Yeah. Just expose you to a whole new lifestyle. And then you're going to find that other things in your life start working out a little better. And you start enjoying the things you enjoy and start caring a little less about the things that drive you nuts.
Right. Well, and from a scientific, physiological perspective, we can get into fight or flight. We hear that. Fight or flight. And we kind of live in that space nowadays because of all the information coming in.
Absolutely.
Tai Chi will take you into rest. They call it rest and digest now. When I first learned 30 years ago, it was rest and relax. But it actually changes your system into that resting system, that is where your body heals.
Okay.
The body does not heal itself when it's in the fight or flight. So you have to do things to get yourself into the rest and digest method.
Well, it makes sense.
And this does. So when you come into that space, then you go out from that space into the rest of your life. Things are different.
Mm-hmm.
Things actually change in your life when you have a little more peace.
Sure.
Regular peace and health.
It's all about perspective sometimes.
It is, isn't it?
And Tai Chi can kind of give you a more true perspective.
Yeah.
And let you kind of filter out the things your brain does to
the
give
baloney.
you. Yeah.
The monkey brain, I call it the monkey brain. Just let it go.
Well, and this is where I think Tai Chi and we talk about the ancient art form that it is and everything else. And I think this taps into that part, where I think we as humans just don't know enough about our brain and its potential yet. And I think Tai Chi taps into some stuff that we as mankind just haven't been able to figure out why the brain or how you know what I mean? I think what you're doing in Tai Chi accesses things and parts of your brain that I think we just don't fully understand yet.
A bridge
between
the known and unknown. But I will tell you, there's so much wonderful research and science around brain activity.
Sure.
And prayer, what it does on prayer and meditation and just calming yourself. And we're learning much. We are learning a lot now.
And I think Tai Chi might be that, like you said,
and
the
that's
bridge.
why more people are getting behind, more organizations and medical facilities are getting behind this.
Well, that's proof that it works. Because if you're getting enough, quote unquote, the doctors and the people that we deem as the experts because they went to school and all that stuff, which rightly so. But when they're on the team saying, there's something to this Tai Chi thing,
right?
Then you're kind of late to the game. It's like if they figured it out, then you know what I mean? Like they were late to the class. I'm just saying they were. But that's what I'm getting. And so please. So for those that are kind of trying to want to chalk this up as hokum or whatever, I'm like, for people that have been doing this long before we were ever thought of, and doing it, and I mean, to me, if you need evidence of proof of something working, that's it right there. Right. Something does not last and done by millennia and generations and civilizations for that long without it working. Right. At some point would have said this is hogwash and it's not going to work. That hasn't happened. It's been more and more and more, and we've still studied and still learning it. And you know, I think it's just untapped potential we haven't hit yet, and I think that's what Tai Chi is. And we may take another 1,000 years for us to figure it out, but I think that's the path.
I don't think so. I'm not holding that out.
I won't be around for that one either. But.
I highly recommend looking into Tai Chi.
Yeah,
very valuable. Very valuable.
You've been, and I'm saying the proof's in the pudding, and you and your wife are happier and living better because of it.
That's right, sir.
Excellent. Well, that's good. And well, I hope pretty soon we're going to get to a point where you're teaching the class.
I would love that.
Bill will be your instructor for today.
Yeah,
Monty's taking a day off.
Yeah. Well, he actually is quite an expert in seated Tai Chi.
Good deal.
I mean, there's so many nuances to seated, and there's some things that happen in seated that actually it's harder to access as a beginner standing. I mean, we work at it. But our posture is more apparent, and we get into more obliques versus, including all the core, but we access initially, especially, many more muscles seated. So if you have questions like, okay, I don't think I can do this, I don't know, it's intriguing, call me, because there is a place for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me give you the number one more time before we wrap up here. You can reach Monty directly at 575-626-7150. Again, 575-626-7150, or shoot her an email, healthfirst, HEALTH 1ST at yahoo.com. And then, of course, check out the website, Tai Chi for Health Institute.org. I don't know why I wanted to say Tai Chi, but
Chai Chi. Now you're going to ruin it for everybody. It's Tai Chi.
Yeah, I almost slipped
not
Chai
Chi. Or there's one more. There's one more. It gets confused with.
Maybe that's a session. Chai tea at Tai Chi.
Yeah.
And then you all, after you do Tai Chi, we'll have chai tea.
Our classes is talking about coming up to Ruidoso and going to the Ruidoso class together, and then us all going to lunch.
I like it.
Yeah, let's do it in the fall. We'll go up and go to lunch and play Tai Chi with the other people.
There you go. I'm thinking the Ruidoso folks, go have lunch, or the Roswell folks, go do a good class up there, because, Roswell's great, but Ruidoso's got so many great places that's the biggest fight every time I go to Ruidoso. Yeah. Where am I going to eat? I don't know. So many good places.
I know.
So use that as an excuse.
Yeah, but we have some great stuff here.
We do.
Yeah.
I just live here, so I see it all the time. I get there. It's what you don't have always seems like a little nicer sometimes. It's the way humans are. But thank you very much for spending time with us. Bill, thank you for coming in and sharing your story with us.
I enjoyed it very much.
And we can't wait to see you get an update. Maybe next year when we catch you back in, or next time we see you.
Yeah. After the new year, probably.
Yeah, we'll get Bill in and see what Bill's up to. And next thing what you never know, he might come in here twinkle toeing and stuff, and he's like, now that I've done, I've got Tai Chi down, I took up ballet.
Do you mind sharing your age?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
Well, they asked me here what my age is, and I'm 93 years old.
Nuh-uh. There's no way I would have guessed that.
Yes.
I was going to guess 70s. I honestly was going to. I was going to guess in the 70s here. So, man. So what's so you've been doing Tai Chi for about 4 years now.
Well, we had COVID, and I know you did a little at home, but I think y'all started maybe 5.
Maybe it might have been more than 4 years.
Okay, so you picked up mid 80s, we'll say. That'd be a fair guess in your mid 80s or so. How great is that? So, first off,
it's been beneficial.
Yeah,
highly beneficial, physically and mentally. I have to want to emphasize that point of it.
I would guess it
gives
would
you
be
a stimulus to do something.
Sure. Well, I imagine, especially when you get, at where you're at in life, and I'm assuming you and your spouse are retired at this point, so you don't have to go to the job every day. And when you get that kind of free time on your hands, it can be a mental hurdle.
That's right.
You don't feel like, sometimes I imagine there was a period in your life where you're feeling a little, am Am I worth, what's my worth now,
Yeah, 'cause you're not being challenged also.
And I think Tai
We need to be
Chi
challenged.
helped you navigate that
That's
side
right,
too.
exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So please look into this. What's it going to hurt you? What do you got to lose?
Nothing.
You might stumble into accidentally come in with your reservations, and I bet when you come out, they're all gonna be gone, and you're like, dang, this is actually pretty. It's
pretty good.
Now your family came in a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Your son was
My
visiting,
son was here with his
daughter-in-law, grandson. How old was your granddaughter? She's the youngest, right?
In fact, she just had a birthday. She's 22 years old.
She loved it, didn't she?
Yeah.
You could tell she was loving that class. So she's 22.
Well, when they see your family member moving as good as the youngins, they're gonna know what the secret is.
So
awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you,
very
Monty.
much,
We'll see you
Mike.
next time. And
Pleasure.
thank you, Bill. As always,
Thank
we
you.
look forward to say hi to your wife for me.
I will.
Here, we'll
Thank
do.
you.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. We begin today in Artesia, where city leaders have held their first public meeting in an effort to get feedback on a new citywide comprehensive plan. Jackie Fishman is a certified planner and owner of the firm called Consensus Planning Incorporated. The city is contracting with the Albuquerque firm to update its comprehensive plan, which has not been updated since 2012. The same firm is also finishing up an updated Eddy County comprehensive plan and completed a similar plan for Carlsbad about 2 years ago. And the Artesia Aquatic Center has named a new leader. Greg Allen Moore is the new general manager. Moore comes to the Aquatic Center after a career in the automotive industry, which included ownership of body shops and dealership consulting firms. He has lived in Artesia for about 10 years. The Artesia Aquatic Center hosts year-round classes, open swims, theme nights, and community events. For all the details, go to artesianmaquatics.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
While most of the tech media is still fawning over ChatGPT, or simply trying to understand the whole thing to begin with, the reality is that the AI chatbot Shine is wearing off. Fast. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. As the internet fills up each day with more and more content generated by AI instead of humans, we're noticing just how bad AI and ChatGPT's writing style really is. Last week, Gannett, the giant newspaper chain, halted its use of AI to write about sports. Readers complained that the stories were silly and made no sense after the AI recapped a local football game and generated this gem. The players had close encounters with each other of the football type. Compelling? Even worse, the generation of AI, riddled with its own problems, is training the newest AI, meaning AI-generated gobbledygook and incorrect facts are just getting worse. Hey, get Tech Smarts the easy way with my free newsletter. You're just going to love it. You can get it right now for free at getkim.com. 36,000, 25, 1. 3 numbers to remember to get the visibility and control you need to make the right business decisions instantly. 36,000. That's how many businesses have upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system, streamlining accounting, financial management, inventory, HR, and more. And this year is NetSuite's 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less. And finally, the #1, because your business is one of a kind. NetSuite offers customized solutions for all your KPIs in one efficient system. That's one source of truth to manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist, designed to give you consistently excellent performance, absolutely free at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim to get your very own KPI checklist. That's netsuite.com/Kim.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It was a successful day on the pitch yesterday for a couple of local soccer teams. How about the Goddard girls soccer team? Now 4-1 overall after defeating Valencia easy yesterday. 6-0 was the final score. There was 2 goals apiece for 3 players for Goddard. Lexi Pinon had 2. She's a senior. She also had 3 assists. Lauren Madrano, a junior, had a pair of goals, as did Bennett Rolk, a senior, for the Lady Rockets, who will next play at Ruidoso tomorrow. That starts at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Roswell boys win a squeaker against Artesia by a score of 1-0. The Coyotes are now 2-1 overall, and that game went in overtime. Did I tell you that? Roswell next plays at home in a tournament game on Friday against Deming. That starts at 2 o'clock Friday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. job openings dropped to the lowest level in nearly 2.5 years in July as the labor market gradually slowed, bolstering expectations that the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates unchanged next month. U.S. retailers' earnings over the past month have signaled that customers are spending on discounted apparel, small home projects, and beauty products, even as they slashed other discretionary purchases, with prices still elevated. Retail sales in the United States rose more than expected in July, with strong wage gains underpinning consumption. Toyota will restart operations at its assembly plants in Japan on Wednesday, after a production system malfunction brought domestic output to a halt at the world's biggest selling automaker. The company continues to investigate the cause of the glitch, which it said was not due to a cyber attack and prevented it from ordering components. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, it's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As expected, Florida's Big Bend has been taking a pounding from Hurricane Idalia, which made landfall this morning near Keaton Beach. Powerful Category 3 storm with 125-mile-per-hour winds. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis warning of a possible 16-foot storm surge. He says there are tens of thousands of power outages, and there will be more. But he adds that utility crews already have been on the job.
There have been over 100,000 households that have already been restored through hard work all through the night, and those restoration efforts are ongoing. Any place it's safe to do, people are there working to get that done.
Flooding extends far down the Gulf Coast, and once it moves on from Florida, Idalia is expected to bring flooding rains to South Georgia and then to the coastal Carolinas in the next couple of days. Several weeks after the devastating wildfires, crews completing the search for victims in the burn area of Maui. The death toll officially is 115. Drone attacks on targets inside of Russia becoming more frequent and widespread.
This appears to have been one of the biggest nights yet in Ukraine's escalating effort to strike back at Russia with drones. Video footage from Pskov showed a large fire and air defense weapons in action. 4 Ilyushin-76 cargo planes were damaged or destroyed. The Russian military also reported attacks by unmanned aircraft in Bryansk, Kaluga, Oryol, and Ryazan. Kiev's drone campaign is on a much smaller scale than Russia's bombardment of Ukrainian cities. but it appears to be growing in scale, ambition, and sophistication.
The BBC's James Reed. Convicted of seditious conspiracy for his role in the U.S. Capitol riot, former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio due for sentencing today. Prosecutors pushing for a 33-year prison term. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A successful test for an airline agreement between Israel and Saudi Arabia. We got the latest from the Media Line's Felice Friedson.
The recent agreement by Saudi Arabia to allow Israel-bound flights to use its airspace en route to the Jewish state was tested this week when an Air Seychelles flight with 128 Israelis aboard made an emergency landing in Jeddah. The drama played out 90 minutes short of the Airbus 321's scheduled landing at Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport. The story had a happy ending as the Israeli passengers expressed gratitude to their unexpected hosts, whom they said were warm, friendly, and even extended greetings in Hebrew. The unexpected visitors were given luxury hotel rooms for the night until a replacement aircraft arrived from the Seychelles to complete the trip to Tel Aviv. I'm Felice Friedson, SRN News, Jerusalem.
News and analysis at themedialine.org and townhall.com. The crowded field of Republican presidential hopefuls, a bit less crowded this morning. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez dropping out of the race.
Mayor Suarez ended his long-shot presidential bid Tuesday, a week after failing to qualify for the first GOP primary debate in Milwaukee. Suarez, a Cuban-American, had previously suggested he would end his campaign if he didn't make the debate stage. The 45-year-old mayor entered the already crowded Republican primary field in June, much later than most of the top contenders. National polls of the primary that included the mayor consistently placed him near the bottom of the pack. Edwin Mora, Washington.
The White House claims to have successfully disrupted a human smuggling network led by an ISIS sympathizer. The operation smuggled people into the U.S. across the southern border. What is not clear at this point is where all of those who were smuggled into the country are. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Those deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your day's going well. Got right in the middle of the week. got big on the weekend of football, Labor Day weekend coming up.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
That's right. Get a little extra day.
Yeah.
Extra day, and I'm free, I believe, this Labor Day.
Check you out.
Yeah.
I just saw something on Facebook that's wrong, but now that it's seen, I cannot unsee it. And I don't know
if it's what I think it is. I agree with you.
No, it's probably not. This is it's one of these clickbait articles on Facebook to get you to celebrities with then and now, those kind of articles. And it's one of these, and this one's doing like a father, son, mom, dad, like celebrity, but it's not true. At least I'm saying the article is. I didn't click on it, but the picture on the cover is not true. But it got me thinking for a minute.
Okay, what's the picture on the cover?
Okay, so it's celebrities with sons and fathers. Okay, there's a picture of Paul Rubens. Okay, right there. It says dad, and then the actor next to him listed his son, and I don't know his name, but I know 2 things he's been in, and so he's. If you ever watch Shameless. I believe he's the oldest son in Shameless. Okay. If you ever watch, it's big on Hulu right now, The Bear. The cooking show, the main guy that's on The Bear.
Like the head chef?
Yes. And he's also, I think, the oldest son in Shameless. They put a side-by-side, and dang it, and they put son next to Paul Rubens. Now I look, and I'm like, he does look like Paul Rubens' son. He's not, because I think Paul Rubens doesn't have any kids. But he does
Jeremy Allen White.
He does look like Paul Rubens' kid when you put them next to each other. Like, look at this pic I'm looking at. I don't know if you can kind of see it.
Oh, wow. They do have very similar facial structure.
I was like, because for a hot minute, I was like, no way, he's Paul Rubens' kid? And then I started reading, I was like, no, he's not. But it got me for a hot minute there, and I was like, no way. I was like, wow, it just blew me away with it.
It's not exactly the same as this, but I read something the other day that kind of blew my mind. And if you think about it, it makes sense. AI could technically ruin the internet. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of search engines. There's a lot of search engines that are trying to optimize their search engine capabilities by incorporating AI. AI has no problem, as we've seen hundreds of examples of presenting knowledge or information confidently as if it's factual when it has no basis in fact.
Sure.
A lot of these things that are just be made up, but because they're presented in such a confident way, they're being taken as fact.
Yeah.
If enough of that happens, the internet could basically, it's like the kissing cousin. Like eventually the incorrect information could intersect and start mating with itself and destroy actual information on the internet.
I could possibly see that happen. My other thought would be, yes, if it goes unchecked. Do you really think people will let it go unchecked?
Do you really think that we have the ability to check it? We've lacked the ability till now.
I feel we will at some point. I think the technology, I don't know.
Hopefully.
I'm thinking there's going to be something, because I got a feeling there's enough good people that are going to work on software and things to combat this kind of stuff.
Again, I really hope you're right.
Well,
it worries me because there's a whole generation of people who have basically committed to, I don't have to know anything because I've got Google.
Well, and here's the thing.
And if Google's presenting wrong information, then that's a problem.
And this is the part of me in my brain where I think, well, this is why capitalism's the good thing. When people are set to lose money, lots of it, do something like this, things tend to get worked out.
That's when things get worked out. You're right.
And so there's where my faith is. My faith is in the dollar, because the dollar will protect it.
I just hope it climbs uphill fast enough, because I'm down here where there is no dollar.
You're right. I mean, it's scary. You're absolutely right. But this is my glass half full mindset. I think, there's going to be enough smart people in the room to combat some of it. Now, am I naive? Yeah, probably. But
I look at the ground a lot. I don't focus on a lot of what's going on. Let's just face it.
But this is that little sliver of me that still is like, yeah, there's still humanity is good. Although the older I get, the less and less and less I feel that way.
I'm about to put a paraplegic in an electric wheelchair and launch him at you full speed, a la Community, to see if man is good.
Right. I kind of lean the other way now. But
there's like 3 people that got that reference, by the way.
Well, I was one.
I know.
I knew the community reference. I remember the debate. But so I'm hoping that's
sure.
But yes, you're right. This is scary, and this is this is where the unfortunate, like, people that didn't grow up with the internet because of their seasoning have built in a little bit of a BS radar. And unfortunately, because younger generations have never grown up in a world without it,
right?
Theirs isn't working as well.
It's true.
And maybe this will smarten them up.
That being said, how well do you remember the Dewey Decimal System? Just saying.
I remember it. I don't know.
It's going to be tough to find the information the old school way after we've gotten so comfortable with just, pulling our computer out of our pocket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then there's the other thing where people just know stuff.
Yeah. That's everybody needs like a dude on a mountain.
Yeah.
You know?
There was a time when there was no internet. We just learned stuff.
We just sought knowledge from people who sat in a room on a mountain.
So if the whole internet implodes and it turns us back to 1883 and we're all living in shanties and candlelight, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, okay. I'm good with that. Like, I watch enough of these apocalyptic shows that I'm like, spending the day just farming is not such a bad thing.
The only leg up I feel like I have in the apocalypse is that I already like bad food.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm going to be okay with eating, like, the stuff in, like, the Jim Jones bucket.
Yeah.
The ready-made potatoes, and most of the people are like, those garbage, freeze-dried stuff. I eat that stuff now.
Now, this is going to turn to way bad here, but please hear me out. This is not what I intend to
do. Let me get to the end of this, all right? Before the pitchforks and the torches.
This is going to sound bad, but please hear me out.
Okay, here we go.
The older I get, the more and more Ted Kaczynski's dream of living in a cabin in the woods is not a bad idea.
Maybe not necessarily. Okay,
not the bombings and all that, but just being in a patch of nowhere in Montana, in the shanty where you just gotta live off the land and do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
it definitely
doesn't bother me.
There's some
I think
appeal.
I could deal with that.
I would go with main character from the first Final Destination. Okay. Where he just holes up in that warehouse and just like eats his potted meat with his safety spoon.
Yeah.
That's going to be me. Everything wrapped in bubble wrap just in case.
But I'm just saying, I'm like, piece of wood, middle of nowhere, a little cabin.
Yeah.
No power, but you're cooking your beanies and weenies and hunting and living off the land there. I got to be honest. It's hard work. But man, my mental health would be way better, I think. I think, I know people need people and you got to talk. I'm like, yeah, at some point, but I'll talk to enough people. Like, I'd be neighborly.
I'll put it this way.
I just don't want to look at you all the time.
If I can find somebody who will, like, prepare meat for me, I'm good. Like, if I can kill it, sure. I suck at the whole hanging it, like draining it.
Well, you figured it out.
That's what I need I need somebody for it. Like I need like a Sherpa. Yeah. Well, like a survival Sherpa.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You figure it out. Right. I mean, yeah, you're going to be bad at it for a while. But I think eventually if you stick to it and all that.
Then there's survival of the fittest.
Well, this is where I'm glad I'm an Eagle Scout. Because I was in the Boy Scouts. I did wilderness survival. I'll be just fine.
Fair enough.
I can get through it. Well, I was that, I was as a kid and we're like at camp and people living in, I'm like, I'm going to make a thing to keep my shoes dry. And I'll make it with sticks and everything. So I was doing that stuff.
So the takeaway from this is when the apocalypse happens, we're going to Mike's house.
There you go. Come on over.
There you go.
But give me my
duck
space
before you walk in the door. Just trust me on that.
I'm just saying, I could easily camp and be out there and just be happy as can be out there. Just in my own little world. Oh, I think we'll go fishing today. All right, let's go down to the creek and fish a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, we got supper. All right, let's go. What's your whole day? What are you doing today? I got to catch some fish. I gotta do work. Like I gotta, like chores at home, but that's your day.
Right.
I'm like, I could deal with that. That would be a great life. But if it's camping and you live in a cabin and you got to rough it, oh, so be it. Put me in Montana where I can get warm and not, because I can always warm up. I can light a fire, but
I'm just saying,
it's so hot.
I was just saying I kind of enjoyed the taste of freeze-dried potato soup. I think I'm going to be okay in that respect. For the rest of it, I don't know.
Well, and to be honest, I'm a loner by nature. Like I need people like people. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I'm very comfortable in my own skin by myself for periods of time. I enjoy it actually. It's something I like.
Right.
So I don't. That part won't break me down. Like, to be honest, I'm dead serious. People are going to laugh at people. If I had the gumption, like the real gumption and time on my hands, I would totally do that show alone.
Yeah?
Like, if I dedicated my time to do a little training and prepping and, it's been 30, 40 years since I've done this kind of stuff.
Sure.
I need to get back into it a little bit. But to me, alone sounds like fun.
It might be. I haven't actually been camping in my entire adult life.
Really?
If I'm being honest, I don't think I have.
Really?
I don't think so.
See, to me, it's fun. If there's something about, and I'm talking real camping.
Yeah.
I'm not talking bringing the camper, bringing the camp stoves,
that's glamping.
Bringing the cots. I would even argue the tent. Maybe you don't even need. I'll give you the tent. I'll give you the tent, but you don't need that either. Depending on where you're camping and what you're doing. It really isn't. Sure. Yeah, yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I want things like an axe, a saw, things like matches to start fires. I can with other things. I don't want to because matches are really convenient.
It really is. It's a wonder of modern technology.
Yeah, I mean, but I totally would love doing that. Like, I would, like, the whole thought of me by myself out there, I'm going to build this structure, and I'm like thinking, build the walls, the mud. I'd make it quite comfortable. I could easily spend my day doing that by myself, enjoying it. You know what I mean? Just building. Now,
sounds like you got the itch a little bit.
I kind of want to do it. I kind of like doing it. I would like to try it.
Bring on the apocalypse, baby.
Problem is that now that I'm 50 and
that's the thing is
out of shape, I need to.
You could if your hand was forced, but do you want to?
Do I want to? Like, no, if I'm live that life permanently, no.
Right.
No, I do like to turn on Netflix and watch things on the internet and play Madden football for, a couple hours a day or whatever. Yeah, I do like doing those things. But if the world went to a pot and and I could easily go sit in the mountains and build my own little thing, find a little spot and live my life and be just as happy as can be.
I'm just looking forward to growing out my beard and finally getting to be crazy. Shout like random nouns at people. Shoelace!
I've said it in my younger days all along. I said, I can't wait to be old just so I can say whatever I want. People just chalk it up to, he's just old.
Just so I could be an old coot.
Yeah, just so I could say the most inappropriate things to people, and people are like, he's old, don't worry about it.
You can do that now.
I know, but they get arrested and stuff. I don't want to be the guy that they just, he's that guy. Let him be.
Oh, Grandpa.
Just let him say it.
It's classic Mike.
Yeah, I kind of that's a golden line.
Yeah, you're on your way.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't think our guests are coming.
Yeah.
Are they here?
Well, I thought
he's in the 9 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So is nobody else here?
Beaver, I don't think.
Like, no, none of our Boys and Girls Club aren't here, right, guys? They don't.
Are they listening? Jocelyn and Roy are the 8 o'clock guests here?
No? Our guest here? Our guest here, no?
No.
Okay, cool. That's all. That's all. I just want to know if our guests are in the lobby or not. I couldn't tell. I just want to know if they're in the lobby. I couldn't tell.
She's like, I think this is my time. Turn on number 4.
You want to come on? Come on, Joss. I'll put you on. I thought she didn't want to come on the radio.
Oh, no, we had her on. She's all about it, especially with self-promo.
Ah.
Yeah.
We ought to do that one.
In fact, they had a great show over the weekend, LibFest.
At Liberty?
Weekend. Yeah.
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 Cool. Good deal. Well, she's the talent in the family. Roy's like, hey, wait.
He's the looks. All right?
He's the look.
He's the look. She's the talent.
He does. He's got. Right. He's just. I'm telling you. The more Sam Howell is getting more famous as the quarterback for the Commanders, the more I see Roy under center for my team. That guy looks... Sam, ladies, if you're wanting a man, go Google Sam Howell. He is the quarterback for the Washington Commanders. I can't get you that guy. But if you're looking to date a handsome-looking man that looks just like that guy, I got Roy.
Dude, we should charity auction Roy. We should do a dating charity auction for Roy.
And maybe, he's a handsome lad. Let's get him a date. Yeah. So, but yeah, Jocelyn's a talent.
What am I bid for this handsome hunk of video producer?
He looks just like Sam Howell, NFL quarterback. Telling you, ladies. I'm going to get Roy a date. All right, it is 8:22. I guess we're going to play something else.
I admire that you have a passion project.
I do. Well, I got He looks like Sam Howell. My work's cut out for me. All right, it's 22 minutes after 8. Let's do the weather. I'll take a break, then I'll figure out an interview to replay here in a little bit. But first, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good through the holiday weekend. High pressure and dry air in place. It will be pretty hot, though. Our afternoon high today in the low to mid-90s. Lots of sunshine. Clear tonight, and we're in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and we stay sunny. We're expecting low 100s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Labor Day. Should get lots of sun. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 70 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 61%. Winds currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Today we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 94. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 66. That I like. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Thursday, sunny, highs back near 100. South winds 5 to 15. Friday, sunny, highs around 101 with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then looking at the weekend on Saturday, sunny, highs near 100. Sunday, sunny skies, highs right 99, 100 again. And then for Labor Day on Monday, sunny and hot with highs once again right around 100. All right, it is 8:23. We're going to take a commercial break here, and then I'm going to figure out an interview to replay, and then I'll come on and introduce it and all that on the other side. But quick break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70, but when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment, so schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-750 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
Eastern New Mexico University in Portales is proud to offer potential students the opportunity to attend ENMU tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. And now we're proud to announce the newly created Freshman Hound Housing Room Grant, which will allow students the opportunity to receive up to $3,000 per year off their housing costs when living on the ENMU campus. For more information on how ENMU is making higher education more affordable for you and your family members, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success, that's what we're about.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
More than 50 million Americans live with chronic pain. If you're experiencing pain that interferes with your daily life, Artesia General Hospital can help. Dr. Casey Della Barca and our compassionate team of providers treat a variety of conditions, including arthritis, back and neck pain, migraines, neuropathy, and more. We offer advanced procedures and comprehensive therapy, and we personalize treatment plans to help you get back to living a quality life. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/pain.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Elliot Rodriguez back with us with Loan Depot. Morning, Elliot. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good morning. Good morning, Roswell.
Of course, if you're not familiar, Elliot joins us once a month, and he is the guy. Loan Depot, enjoy. In studio this morning, Elliot Rodriguez back with us with Loan Depot. Morning, Elliot. How you doing today?
I'm doing.
Good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Elliot Rodriguez back with us with Loan Depot. Morning, Elliot. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good morning. Good morning, Roswell.
Of course, if you're not familiar, Elliot joins us once a month, and he is the guy. He's not a real estate agent, so he's not the guy that's going to help you find the house. He's...
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, you never know, but that's not his trade.
Nope.
Yeah, he may stumble upon one just like everybody else does, but his trade is that he's the guy that gets you the money to pay for the house. And so, I say this every time because this is Elliot's kind of niche thing. Yeah, he loves working with first-time buyers, and his dream is to get people in their dream and getting them into their home. So he loves kind of mentoring and working with first-time home buyers to kind of show them the ropes on the ins and outs of what you should do and what you shouldn't do when it comes to buying your first home. And of course, don't get me wrong, he works with everybody. If you bought 60,000 homes or this is your first one, Elliot will take care of you. But I think he gets a little special spot in his heart when he sees the family with their first time home and they get the keys and they get that chance to walk in the door and say this is ours and no one else's. And that's what he does it all, but that's kind of your special spot.
No, you're right. You're right. Because let me tell you something. Last week I did a closing for this lady that if we can say we got some hiccups here and there, it happens.
Sometimes
it happens.
Sometimes when the struggle's a little harder than normal, it makes the payoff a little sweeter.
I know. She's like, it's very funny. She's like, I'm so sorry, Ellie, that I was so difficult. And like, it's okay. To me, she wasn't being difficult.
Sure.
It was just something a little
Sure. It was a bit of a challenge.
It was
for
a little
you.
challenge.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal like every day.
Sure.
But to me, what is normal anyway lately? So.
Well, and I imagine you find the fun in, all right, let me work this and let me see what I can do to make some magic here. And you just had to do this one on this particular one a little bit more than others.
But when these little things happen like this, is the part that I love the most.
Sure.
Because let me tell you, I guess, the animal in me, like I like a challenge at the same time too.
Sure.
So it's funny. And
let's face it, you're in a business where there's a lot of money exchanging hands, and it's really
there's
easy
a lot
to
of
get
different things.
It's really easy to get lost in that stuff, the numbers and the X's and O's. So when you get to see the human element and see what happiness was given because of all the X's and O's and minutia you're going through, and it makes people's heads swim. And then when look, at the end of the day, I just want to be able to say this is my house. And when you're able to make that happen through all that nonsense, it's rewarding.
No, I mean,
it's awesome.
It was. I mean, the way I look at it, and then I even got an email like 1 or 2 days afterwards. She actually sent me an email to me and my staff saying how grateful she was.
That's awesome.
I mean, and it's still apologizing again. Oh, sorry, I was being so difficult. I was a little frustrated. So, wish I can say all the names and stuff like that.
Sure.
So another lender tell them to do something that no way in God's name.
So they got some bad advice.
They got some very bad advice. I don't know if the lender just had a hiccup. You know, because let's be honest, we're human beings.
Sure.
I'm not going to be evil and say everybody's so bad out there. The fact of the matter is, this is lending 101 and should have never been tell her to do that.
Well, experience is a thing in the world.
Yeah.
And people have been doing it a while tend to know more ins and outs than someone that's newer to the industry.
I was just surprised because it's a big company. It's one of my bigger competitors. Okay. So it's like, hey, here we go. I felt like Rocky Balboa in the end of the fight. Boom, I just took you down.
Taking one of the, taking on the clients of one of what you deem like a bully.
Exactly. Like, you did wrong to those people. No, when she told me all that stuff, it's like, oh my, no, you cannot do that. So it was very difficult for her. And we think outside the box, try to figure out a few things, but it was something very complicated.
Sure.
And then there was something that I give her a very simple answer to fix the problem, and she couldn't do that. And doing the same idea of what I was doing, I mean, between me and her, put ourselves together and like, yeah, you could do this, you could do that. We just have to be able to prove it.
Sure.
And that was complicated as heck.
Oh,
it's like, holy crap. But anyway, I remember her telling me, she was being frustrated about the loan that she took. So another lender told her to take a loan, to take money. You can't do that. Folks out there.
So it ended up getting her kind of in trouble and getting the house.
Well, it just make it difficult. The numbers were fine. Okay. It was the money that the person had to be able to do what needs to be done. You can't use it. So no, you cannot go and, folks, listen real careful. You cannot go and take a loan to do a mortgage loan. It doesn't work that way.
So you have money down for a down payment.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
You can't take a loan on that.
There's rules in place because, if I can get you approved, now you cannot even use that money.
Right.
There's rules in place for a reason, folks. So please do not do that. Now, if you have a car loan or something like that, that's a little different.
Well, and ideally, putting down payment on a house is your good faith side with your lender. That's generally why that's done that way.
And that's why you cannot take a loan because basically you tell him the lender, whoever's company it is, I didn't prepare myself to do it.
Yeah.
Give me a loan anyway.
It's your commitment to the process. Like this is the kind of thing that the lenders look at to say, okay, we're going to approve them. They're going to be in the house in a month. Time to make their first payment, and they disappear.
No, but with her help.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter, folks, it's a team effort. I don't do everything by myself. If you don't follow my lead and do what I ask you to do, then I cannot do it either way.
Sure.
I mean, I can have the best intention. Oh, I can't even say English. I can have the best intentions in hand.
Sure.
And it don't matter if you don't follow my lead.
It's no different than a sports team. If the coach says run this play and everyone runs a different play and it doesn't work, you can't blame the coach. He said, that's not the play you should have run. I should have ran this play.
I know the Coyotes are not having that problem now. They're actually listening. No, anyway, that was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was the funniest thing is, the finger blaming game started for a moment, and I told my borrowers like, no, don't put that this way. I've been trying to overcome this, and she knew what I was saying, and the funniest thing is there was a lot of things were going on that week, and she was telling me, oh, this is happening, I'm going to be homeless, and to me that's like put Elliot in gear even farther. That's like, we cannot have this. What is it? You're not going to be homeless on my watch. So my staff and I, we put ourselves together with her, and I'm very impressed. My team just delivered what I asked them to do.
Good deal.
And it was the funniest thing. And this lady sending me, she was real grateful already at the closing, first of all.
Sure.
But getting the email after the fact is why I love what I'm doing.
Sure. Well, and it goes back to the point we were talking about before. It's people that are trying to do the right thing but got bad advice or didn't know any better, and now they're in a pickle. And you're there saying, "Well, let me help you. Let's do this." And guess what? And here's the thing: lot of mortgage lenders and stuff wouldn't waste their time with that because they're like thinking, especially, and I have no idea how much money she was investing, but
it was not a big loan.
But if this person's getting $100,000 house compared to, you know, and some big company sees this is, I got to go through all the steps, and at the end of the day, we're just loaning them $100,000. I'm out. I'm waiting for the half
I think almost
million.
every company will go for it. I think it's just the lender itself, like the local individual that you may be dealing. Maybe feels like, oh, it's too much of an effort.
It's not worth their time.
It's too much of an effort.
So they're not going to dedicate themselves to it.
And that's bad because you know what? Technically speaking, that's illegal, by the way.
Right.
Okay. You know, you're not supposed to be putting things to the side, not thinking care of people.
It's a salesperson mentality.
Exactly.
As I'm a guy who works in radio. I you know, I'm not a salesperson directly, but we deal with, and indirectly I am. But salespeople are the same way. It's like, hey,
true.
You know, I've got it. You know, I've got an appointment. One guy's spending $5,000 a month. The other's spending $200 a month. I'm going to the guy spending $5,000 a month, not the one going $200.
Well, I have an assistant, and she's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay? And she came with me from where I came from. They were stupid enough to let her go. You did me a favor. I don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she was going to come and follow me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, we talk about doing deals for people. And sometimes you have those $500,000 deals that is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this $100,000. Actually, I just did a deal not too long ago for $67,000. I'm actually going to close the deal today for $75,000, folks. And I still treating the customer like it's $1 million customer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why these people
and that's
come
why
back.
I do what I do.
When the next time they're like, okay, now I can buy a $150,000 house. Yeah.
So I was talking about her. It's like we do the same effort on everything, and in the long run, it will pay off.
Yeah.
And people are grateful, and they'll tell their brothers and sisters. And I mean, folks, everybody's going through craziness right now. Okay, I mean, there's stuff happening overseas. There's stuff happening at the West Coast. I mean, it was north in Canada before. Now, I mean, it's just one thing after the other. The guy in the radio was talking like it feels like, you know, the end of times of what it says in the Bible. Okay. Well, that's been like that for a long time, folks. Okay?
My whole life.
The Bible doesn't lie. It's just been telling you, and it just doesn't know how facts that the time. What is it? It's like my wife say, Ellie's not good with timing. You know, like I'm just like Jesus and God. Just He's coming, but you just don't know when. the 1 minute is really maybe a whole decade. You know.
Time's a construct.
Exactly. It's just going to happen no matter what. That's the way I look at it. No, but in the end of the day, it's just about taking care of customers.
Sure.
You know, and if you do the right thing.
You treat people well, then they're going to respond to that.
There's a lot of guys, I hear this all across the board, you know, all kinds of companies and everything, all that they're not doing good and this and that the applications numbers are lower. And these are like, okay. I always say that we're in a bubble, okay? Roswell is in a bubble because we're a totally different animal than everybody else, to be honest. But I don't think so. I think it's just what we take care of customers because I'm doing business in Albuquerque just the same as here, okay? I'm doing a little more here because I'm a local guy, okay? You know, and I like to take care of customers here more than ever, you know.
And let's face it, you do a lot of face-to-face stuff, and you don't want to be driving to Albuquerque every day.
No. I think that's probably why I'm so tired because I was in Albuquerque Friday and then I came back the same day.
Yeah, until we have the transporters like Star Trek, man.
I know. I'm waiting for that. It's like, come on, Captain Kirk, get this stuff going. No, but you have to be careful what somebody else is telling you. And we talked about this before. A lot of people come to me all the time telling me, "Oh, I couldn't buy a house. I haven't been able to buy a house forever." It's like, why? You know? And I'm not saying, folks, that you know, you're going to come to me and I'm going to say yes, ever. You know, I tell people sometimes, if you do this, then I can tell you yes.
Sure.
Okay? But in the end of the day, I take a lot of stuff that other companies kind of mess up.
Sure.
Let's put it just like that.
Put it this way, if you're making a rent payment right now, then you can afford a house payment.
That is very true.
You just got to get your credit right to get someone to loan you the money.
And because you don't have a lot of money in the bank doesn't mean you cannot buy a house. Okay? You just have to be guided by the right individual that actually is going to have the patience to actually talk to you. You know, I have so many customers that I still need to follow up on. That is crazy. I mean, I swear, like before COVID, okay, when I was in my other company, till after COVID, it never slowed down to me. And then after COVID, it got crazy. And then last year, the market went, you know, wahoo, it went out of control.
Right.
And folks, it's still not the highest interest rate yet. Okay. You know,
but wait,
I'm not saying this in a good way, like, you know, hey, don't worry about it. And that's not what I mean. What I mean,
if you're waiting for the right time, you're going to be waiting your whole life.
That is true. You cannot, folks. If anybody's listening there and you want to take a good advice, if you qualify to buy a house and you need to buy a home, let's talk. Don't be, oh my God, the market. I'm going to wait.
I'm waiting for the weather to be just perfect to do it.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Me and Mike talked about this about my own sister in Florida, asking me, what is it? When the planets are aligned,
right?
You know, when is the right time? There's no such a thing.
Waiting for the golden light to come down.
It don't work that way.
The time has come, my children. Buy your home.
They're like, you're not gonna have the right experience yet. No, it works. Is when you're ready and you can afford it. No matter what's happening in the market, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't let what is happening in the market stop you from having the dream of your life, which is owning your own home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the fact of the matter is, when the market gets better, then we can refinance and lower your interest rate even more. Okay, because the fact is, if you buy a house right now that the interest rate are a little higher than we've been used to for the past 5 years.
Sure.
Okay, that means 6 months, a year from now, whatever, you could refinance for lower, because that means it'll put you in a better position.
Mm-hmm. Any house is your ticket into the club.
Yes.
Like, you're that guy standing in line.
Get the membership.
Yeah, you're that guy standing in line with a big bouncer sitting there saying you can't go in, and then you see the hot woman walk by and like, look at her. That's why I got in. They're the ones who've already bought a house, and they're in the club. They're going in there.
I like that.
You're the one sitting there paying your rent check, and you're like, I can't get in. They're like, well, we don't. But so even if it's not the right house, that first house is your ticket into the club. Once they say, oh, you got a house? The velvet rope comes by, you walk through, and you're in the club.
I got a new thing. Get your home membership.
It's kind of like that.
It really
is.
You know, I just got a phone call from a folk that I did a loan in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Elliot, you know, he called me and left me a message. Mm-hmm. And the message just was really like out of control. It's like, what's happening? You already bought your house. It's not like we have an issue that you cannot buy it.
Right.
He's getting a bunch of mail at home with a bunch of different offers. He's like, what is all this stuff? It's like, I call him back and like, bud, you're part of the membership.
Yep. You're in the club. That's just it.
So, folks, I'm not making this up. I actually just tell him just that same very thing.
Yeah.
The fact is, now you and like Mike and I talked about this all the time. The moment you buy a house, actually, when you even apply for, you start getting phone calls from everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like, oh, you're approved. You're not approved to anything,
right.
Okay? Because how in God's name do they know anything? They don't know nothing. All they know is that you apply.
It's no different than those credit card applications you get in the mail. You're approved for $50,000 credit line. It's like, yeah.
I remember getting a VA letter that says you qualify for 470 something. And folks, that's all that is that's the approval power that a VA person has.
I used my VA loan to get my house, and I got more people wanting to give me a VA loan after I already got my VA loan.
Is that funny or what? I was like, I get a letter at the house. If you would like to refinance, blah, 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 you qualify. It's like, refinance what? I don't have no mortgage.
People were chomping at the bit to take over my loan process, man. They were,
folks. You better be careful what you get in the mail. Especially after you buy a house.
Sure.
Okay?
And you got to be careful, because a lot of times they'll talk to you. If you call and you think, like, if you're in the process with one and you mistakenly think you're talking to that one.
And that's like, it happens every day.
Yeah.
I got a guy telling me, hey, Elliot, you people, like, my people, nothing.
Yeah. That wasn't my people.
I'm the only person you're working with right now, but you're not even talking to my assistant yet.
Sure.
Okay?
But
the way they talk,
especially when you get to online stuff, like if you get email offers and things, like stuff through the mail is probably a little different. But when you get the internet stuff,
oh, it's bad.
And they won't tell you, like, no, that's not us. We're not Loan Depot,
folks.
We're Loan Despot.
Let me tell you something. We on a technology mayhem.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything. Yesterday, I actually registered my number for I wouldn't say prank calls, but for marketing calls, okay? Because my phone is just blowing up like there's no tomorrow, and I don't know if it's just the company or if it's some kind of bad hack that is happening out there. So be careful, folks, especially the older folks that are actually listening right now. if you get a call and they're talking about Medicare and this and that, the fact of the matter is, guys, almost no government, actually, let me rephrase that. No government agency is going to call you.
No.
Not one. So
No.
please do
They
not.
send everything certified mail
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
send you
like
something in
that.
the mail, and then you go and talk to these people and you go to their offices, not some kind of place that you don't even know what it is. So don't let people get you in that stuff.
Yeah, when they just call you randomly on the phone saying you're about to lose your insurance or you're about to do something like that, it's a scam.
my unit loan officers in my office listening to me is like, and this is my answers to these people. Am I talking to a person or a machine?
Yeah.
Please respond. If not, take my name off of the list, please. No, what I was saying is, so I had to read.
Oh, and if they speak English like broken, that's a clue. Hang
big
up.
time.
Like
Big
if they're
time.
trying to sell you something official government, the guy can barely speak English, maybe it's time to hang up on
Yeah.
that phone call.
No, but I registered my phone for that.
Yeah.
So I don't get no more marketing stuff. I have to put my email. It's like, why do I need to put my email? So I can register to take my telephone number from this. But now I'm going to get emails for that.
Right.
It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
It's weird. And they even have a disclosure that says, like government agencies and like, political agencies, can reach out to you. It's like, oh, so you even give me disclosure on who's going to call me now.
Right. What nefarious things will come from this one? Thank you for that. But that's the
No.
But most people don't even read that stuff. They just go through it and then they wonder why they get inundated
Yes,
with all this
folks,
stuff.
when you
It's
buy,
like,
when
well,
you buy a
that's
house
fine.
and you get something that says Loan Depot, blah, 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 your
Yeah.
warranty, this and that is canceled, it's over, and this and that, you just bought the house.
Right. You can't even download a fast food app without committing to all
I just saw
kinds
a
of
TikTok.
legalese and everything
I saw
else.
a TikTok video about that the guy went to get some kind of like a tea, and it has like some kind of sugar stuff. Like, I don't want the sugar part. And she goes, that's fine, Go ahead and do the app. It's like, I'm face to face right here. Can I give you cash?
It's like, you got tea right there.
She goes,
I got
no, I'm
money
sorry,
in
we
my
don't
hand."
take cash here. But we take cards. And okay, good. So can
the
I?
tea's right there. The cash is right
And
here.
she goes,
Give
well,
me
you have
this,
to
you give me
download the
tea.
app so you can order the thing. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm all for convenience, but we can't take away the ridiculously
dude, it's
simple
getting
either.
when you
It's
go to
like, I got
McDonald's.
$1.50 in my pocket. I want a soda. Can I just give you this $1.50 and you give me a soda?
When
please?
you go to McDonald's, are you using your app? It's like, no, I'm in the drive-thru. Hello.
Well, now the app is my friend.
No, but I get it.
Yeah, that
Because you
one-
already put your order. I
because
get it.
well, here's what, and this is what I hate people do on here, and I've called people out on this. If you're that person with the van full of people and you're going through
You better have
drive-through
the
orders,
app.
then download the app and pre-do it. That way, when we get up there, you're not alienating 20 people because the guy in the back wants orange soda instead of Sprite, and y'all are fighting for 10 minutes. Sprite, not orange soda.
I seen that. Somebody take forever. It's like, didn't you know what you're gonna get by the time you got here?
Either get your butt inside with your little crew,
So I
and
do-
let them order,
I
or
do understand the convenience of it.
Yeah.
I get it, but it has been taken to.
But
the
yeah, you're
extreme.
right. Exactly. I don't want to. I don't want to walk. And it's like, look, I have $5. You have a thing of fries and a sandwich. Can I just give you the $5 and you give me that? And it's like, no, you got to go through here and register for this.
I had an agent that tell me, you don't have a normal app.
Yeah.
I have a website. That's my app.
I would argue that's why Radio Shack is no longer in business, because if you remember back in the day,
that's a good point. Right
Radio Shack, you could not buy anything in Radio Shack without giving them your whole life story.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Where's Blockbuster?
Yeah. The
Do you
same
know
thing.
that was one of the biggest, movie rental business?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they screwed up because they didn't go with the times.
but that's
Yeah.
true. They needed to adjust a few things.
Yeah, they held it. They held that dead
the
horse. a
red
little long.
boxes are still around.
They are, and still people go.
I'm
every once in a-
surprised about that.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's like they're still around.
I haven't put a DVD in a DVD player in years, but yeah. But
No, I
radio,
just actually did one last night for a long time. I was like, you know what? I want to see this show without no commercials, no this.
Yeah.
You know what? It's time to put my DVD.
put it in the DVD. But I don't remember. Like, you couldn't even buy an 8-pack of batteries without giving your address, phone number,
It's
and
getting
all
crazy.
this stuff.
It's getting crazy.
And Radio Shack was notorious for that. And I'm like, they're out of business now. I'm telling you, people were tired of doing that, and that was the reason.
No,
why.
I get
mean,
you.
there's other things, but and we're getting back in that site. And I get for convenience, and I get all that, but at the same time, we can't walk away from the fact that say, hey, you're selling coffee. I've got $5. Here's $5. Give me coffee.
No, I
Thank
get
you very much.
I mean, everything is changing. I mean, when I came to Loan Depot, the first thing I was like, can I have a normal app? Like I can, brand to my Yes, that's a good thing. But the fact of the matter is, okay, my company is so big.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's be honest, people retire, quit, or get fired. Okay.
Life happens.
Many different things. And then we'll have 20 million apps out there for that individual that is no longer with us.
So now you have to kind of triage it and fill in the void.
Because I was wondering, and I know there's other things why.
So did you have to play a lot of that when you kind of first started with Loan Depot?
It's a little different, but I have a website which is just the same.
Right.
In some ways actually better because I like my agents to, I like the way I said my agents. Yeah, folks. I'm yours, you're mine. No, I mean, partnership is a big deal.
Sure.
Okay?
People you work with, your team. Yeah.
That's my team. They're my partners.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean that with I'm going to say just like this because the facts are the facts and the way I believe in what I know. There's no lender that's going to take care of any of you guys out there, customers and agents alike. Okay. Because my partners, I take care of my partners.
Sure.
Okay. I don't do some crazy stuff.
Well,
but I'll take care of my customers.
It's going
and my
back
partners.
to how you treat your customers. You treat your employees the same way because you want, it's not a hard equation. You want people to do things for you, and you want people to. You got to be nice and you work with them. If you do that, you find out that everybody works and does things you want to do. The moment you try to go in there being big-headed or being a jerk, it's going to get a lot rougher to get things done.
It's not going to be.
So you treat your employees how you treat your customers, and it turns out everybody's kumbaya.
All right. So the folks that are there that maybe have thought about doing business with me or they haven't yet. And this goes from partners, and when I mean partners, real estate agents or customers that maybe somebody say my name, but you haven't done it yet. Do it. Let me tell you something, guys. I will not let you down.
Right.
I got today is Tuesday. I got a couple approved on Sunday night. And let me say like this. This is not advocating for people to call me late at night. Okay?
You're setting yourself up.
But I'm there. I'm setting myself for failure here. The fact of the matter is I'm here for my customers and my partners. And my partners know this. The cool part about it is that my clients, I think to a certain level, they respect that anyway. So it's not like I'm on Saturday and Sundays at 8 or 9 o'clock or every other day throughout the week taking with customers.
Sure.
But the fact is that they can.
Sure.
So if there's an emergency or situation that it needs it, guess what? They get taken care of.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing this to attention is very simple. On a Sunday, I took care of people. Okay. Actually, I took care of two
customers on a Sunday?
On the Sunday, okay. Yesterday, I got contracts for both of them.
Nice.
That means the agent, I was able to get their customers approved. The agents, in turn, when I made an offer. Because, folks, if you're thinking about buying a house, you can't get on the sideline playing like maybe not.
Sure.
When you get approved, you need to start giving me the stuff I asked for you. You need to get moving.
Sure.
There's plenty of houses, but not enough houses. You're going to, Elliot, that's an oxymoron, right? What the heck are you talking about? The fact is, there are not enough houses. There's plenty of houses out there, but there are not enough houses because there's too many people going for the same home.
Exactly. There's not enough houses of the type that everybody
wants. I mean,
it's
there's
supply and
plenty.
demand.
And guys, there's still remodeling loans. So if you're trying to go for a $250,000 home and there's one for $200,000,
right?
Hey, maybe we could fix it, okay? And now you still got the $250,000 home, but maybe for $225,000.
Yeah,
it's it.
But then there's people that don't want to do that. They're like, no, I want to buy a home and I want to get in it and live
and that's
in it.
understandable. Because let me tell you something. There's no way in God's name Elliot is buying another house if he's not ready, moving ready. I'm done fixing everybody's houses.
Well, and to be honest, I'm thinking for the most part that's a young person's game. You know what I mean? Like when you get to that point where you established your family, you're well into your career and things. At that point, you're kind of like, I don't want to spend my weekends remodeling kitchens and bathrooms. I want to watch football and live my life and do things. But when you're 20 or a new couple or whatever, it's just you and your spouse, and you're like, the world's your oyster. It's like, let's buy that house that needs a new kitchen, that needs new updating. It needs, it looks like it was a nice house in the 1970s. It needs to be updated to current times.
I know.
So be it. But and here's the thing: you're going to make out ahead because if you do that, you bought this house for say $75,000. Because it needed a complete overhaul.
So
then you overhaul it and you spend, let's say, $50,000 overhauling it. You'll turn around and sell that for probably $200,000 if you did the right upgrades and the right things to it. And so you actually made a ton of money doing that. But That's a lot of late nights of sanding, scrubbing, doing electrical work, plumbing, whatever it takes. So if you don't like, when you get home from work, you like to sit down and watch TV, might not be the route that you want to go. But if you're willing to do that, and if you're young, then you could really, and this is what Elliott's talking about. It's where you're at in your life. If you're young and starting out, you can be a little riskier because you can do some stuff and willing to do it. But when you get to that point where you're good and settled and all that stuff, but problem is that people are looking for if there's plenty of houses for the 70,000 because
nobody's fixing them or whatever.
But if you're willing to do a little work and a little love on there, you're going to make out like a bandit. Problem is when you got people that are in their 50s, 40s that are established, they're not in that mindset. So they're wanting the $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 houses.
Correct.
And that's what Elliott's talking about. When they do pop up, they're competitive, which means there's multiple people bidding on them,
exactly.
Which is why on a Sunday night he has to get the ducks in a row so they can get the bid in first on Monday morning and get the winning bid.
I remember one time I was actually on the phone and it was 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to a customer, not emailing and texting, talking to and I believe my wife is saying, what the freaking guy's name is happening here?
Right.
Get off the phone. I was like, we need to take care of this now.
Sure.
You know what? And you know what? That person is going to appreciate that more.
Sure.
Okay? Because they bought a house and now, Elliot went the extra mile for me. Folks, if you've been on the fences thinking about buying a house, and some people have told you in the past you can't, hey, there's their little phrase, I'm a Mexican, some people say that because they can, all right? So
right.
If somebody's telling you cannot, maybe you need to start talking to somebody and getting some answers.
Sure.
Because
and that's where you come in because you may say, well, you can't right now, but do this, and this, in 6 months we can get you in it.
But the craziest thing, Mike, is that most of the customers, I will say 8 out of 10, yes, they can.
Yeah.
It's just the lenders just didn't do their job.
They didn't want to take the time
exactly
to go because, again,
you have to uncover every stone.
Yeah. Again, it's back to that, is the juice worth the squeeze to them?
Exactly.
And for some of these folks, it's not. For you, you're like, no, that's who I want. I want people that didn't think they could, and now I got them in. That's
I got
what I
two
want.
deals going on right now at this very moment that both of the deals were brought into me because the other lender couldn't. And that's local lenders, but folks, I just want to say that loud.
Well, and that's how word of mouth works.
Exactly. The fact of the matter is, this is local lenders that did this, okay? So they brought that to me and okay, let me take a look.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, shoot, no problem. Yeah. And the funniest thing is the previous lender, the borrowers actually shared with me the text message they got. And it was a very pathetic message. It's like, why? It was, I'm not going to say it too much. It was around the area if you guys came up with another idea, blah, 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 you could have told me, Also, in other words, they go somewhere else and answered how to get it done.
Yeah.
They need to give it to you.
So they're politely blowing you off
hello.
I don't want to mess with you.
That is our job, folks.
Yep.
If your lender cannot give you an answer on how to make it work, maybe you should not be a lender. I'm sorry. Okay?
That's kind of what you do for a living.
Simple as that, But no, I mean, folks, don't be afraid out there of what is happening in the market. If you want to buy a house, let me help you. Loan Depot is the second largest lender in the United States right now that is not even a bank. Okay, this is huge.
That's
folks.
all they do is find money for people's homes.
For people.
Yeah, and like you said, you get the national backing with all the incentives and things that a large company can do, but you get the local of Elliott being right here, phone call away if you have a question, if you need to meet face to face, no worries, we can do that real easy. That's the difference here. So you get all the convenience of having the big company and the incentives and the deals and the things they can work, but the minutia that you hate of feeling like a number and going through the gauntlet of computer calls and all that goes away because you got Elliott right here with you.
Correct.
So it's there. So reach out to Elliott. We got to get through the time here. You can check out his website. Elliott's got his own webpage that you can reach out and learn more about Elliott and all his different accomplishments and things. If you go to loandepot.com and then add / Elliott Rodriguez, all one word. He spells Elliott with one L and a Z at the end.
And one T too.
And one T too. And so that way you just put Elliott Rodriguez, and then you can go and see his website. You can shoot him an email direct, which is Elliott Rodriguez, all same way, one word, @loandepot.com. shoot him an email, and he'll be happy to talk to you. And if, of course, you want to talk to him, voice, you can always call him at 719. This is his cell, so it'll go wherever he goes. 719-237-4680. Again, 719-237-4680. If you do call the main office, 505-445-2070.
Yeah, just leave me a voicemail.
Leave a voicemail, and you may catch him on it. Yeah, he'll call you right back. But odds are he's out seeing customers and things, so he's probably not sitting behind the desk waiting to take the calls. So.
And folks, you have to get approved.
Yep.
One of the only things that I'm seeing is that everybody wants to buy a house and they haven't got approved.
Yeah.
And they want to rush everything.
Yeah, get the money,
get approved right away, and
then go find
shopping.
your house.
Yes.
It's so much more fun to shop when you already know how much you're good for.
Exactly.
Thank you, as always, Elliot. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It is 8.
Back is up 58. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hun. Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Rebellious soldiers in Gabon say they are overturning the results of a presidential election that was to extend the ruling family's 55-year grip on power.
The Central African country's election committee had announced early on Wednesday that President Ali Bongo Ondimba had won the election with 64% of the vote. Within minutes, gunfire was heard in the centre of the capital, Libreville, and a little later, a dozen uniformed soldiers appeared on state television saying they'd seized power. The situation in the capital isn't immediately clear, with no word from the president. The coup attempt comes about 1 month after mutinous soldiers in Niger seized power from the democratically elected government. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Britain's top diplomat James Cleverly has begun a long-awaited visit to China as countries try to stabilize ties that have been frayed in recent years. This trip is the first by a UK Foreign Secretary to China more than 5 years. Townhall.com. Well, the TV news crew is reporting on a string of robberies in one Chicago neighborhood when things took a sudden, unexpected turn.
Spanish-language station Univision Chicago says a reporter and photographer were filming early Monday in Chicago's Westtown neighborhood. They were robbed by 3 masked men brandishing firearms who took their television cameras and other items. Police say no injuries were reported and no one is in custody. It was the second robbery this month involving a Chicago news crew. WLS-TV says one of its photographers was assaulted and robbed on August 8th while preparing to cover a weekday afternoon news conference on Chicago's west side. Keith Peters reporting.
34-year-old University of North Carolina graduate student Tylee Chi has been charged with first-degree murder. This stemming from Monday's on-campus shooting of his faculty advisor, Zi Che-yen. The motive, not clear. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful Wednesday so far.
Yes, indeedly.
It's different now. It feels, we're back to we had the rain and all that. Now we're starting to feel back to like normal New Mexico weather. So, at least for a couple days.
It was extra muggy yesterday afternoon.
I'm not gonna lie, that rain, it was nice. I'm still like, that was so. Even though I lost power for 2 hours and everything, I was like, wait, this doesn't happen here. We don't get this. This is nice,
delightful,
and it was convenient because it was like 10 o'clock at night till midnight. I didn't need much power anyway.
Yeah,
I was laying there staring at the ceiling anyway, so I enjoyed it. I liked it. Matter of fact, I went on the porch and just sat and watched it for a while. I was like, it's cool, it's nice out here, it's pouring down raining. I'm dry.
Yeah.
But if I move a foot, I'm not dry, so I'm just hang right here.
As long as you're good, everything's good.
Exactly.
It's good.
So it was nice. Hopefully we get another one of those soon. We're putting in requests.
If anybody up there's listening.
Yeah, I'll take one of those. So, but happy Wednesday. Hope your Wednesday's going swimmingly well.
Yes,
everything going well there. Labor Day weekend approaching. We got football, of course. Roswell, Goddard, and Artesia all in action this
Roswell
Friday
back on
night.
the road, I believe. Goddard back home at the Wool Bowl.
Goddard will be at the Wool Bowl. Roswell on the road. Roswell Coyote broadcast you can catch right here on the radio, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, live streaming video in the Roswell Coyote channel, ksvptv.com. Goddard Rockets, you can listen to the broadcast on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fierro, and you can watch the game, ksvptv.com, in the Goddard Rocket channel. And Bulldog fans, you can catch their game on 990 AM KSVP. Really in Artesia, it's kind of hard to pick it up here, especially that time of night when we have to power down when it goes dark. That's an AM thing. Y'all don't care. It's a radio thing.
If we don't, the signal expands.
That's right. Like, if you ever listen to, if you ever turn on, I know I've said this in the morning, but I'm going to say it real quick and then move on. But if you ever turn on your AM radio about midnight or so and just scan the dial, and then next thing you know, you pick up a station from like Montana or Utah or something 4 states over. It's because they didn't power down.
One of my favorite memories, actually, of all time was I was in Albuquerque. We were living there at the time. I was sitting in a jacuzzi. We actually had a spa and a spa house, and my radio was on the AM dial, and I was tuned into KOMA from Oklahoma.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a cool moment.
I remember back home in Maryland, turn on the radio at 2 a.m. and just kind of scroll the AM dial, picked up a couple Utah
There
stations.
was KSVP. He was listening to
I was listening to Dick Button on KSVP back in no. It was some station out of Utah. But, it was kind of neat. I tuned in for a couple days till they turned down their signal and it went away. But anyway,
they got their power bill and went, oh my God, what are we doing?
But Bulldog fans, 990 AM. But more like if you're here in Roswell, you're going to have to catch it on ksvptv.com and the Bulldogs channel there.
Yes.
So.
It's the better way to experience the Bulldogs anyways.
Well, yeah, then you can watch it.
Absolutely.
You can see if the announcers are right.
Right.
Yeah, see, they stopped having me announce when they put TVs in there, and I was just making stuff up. I was like, whoa, was that a flea flicker? What did he do?
They said, there's nobody on this team named Rabinowitz. You said that name 3 times last night.
And back in the day, the Coyotes won every week, and that was before, and it was like, well, they're 10-0. And I'm like, well, not really, but according to the radio broadcast, they were. I'm kidding. That's why there's video. Now you can see if they're lying or not. But Friday night, we'll have all that for you here right on our network of stations and ksvptv.com.
Yes, sir.
Ted Smith going to join us here in just a few minutes, wearing his American Legion Post 61 hat.
He put it on right when we started.
And so we'll talk. We'll get an update with that. Talk a little Legion business here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for tonight's show or this hour of the show. I didn't get a chance to do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
The giveaway?
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
You were giving.
I'm going to do it at the 7 o'clock hour tomorrow morning.
So if you're planning on going to the show, you might want to get your sitter on speed dial.
Yeah.
If you're planning on winning these tickets.
Do it tomorrow. I'm gonna drag it out. But Guy Penrod tomorrow night at Grace Community Church. Get your tickets, Grace Community Church, or you can get them through the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. Tickets are $30, general admission, and doors open at 6. Concert starts at 7 tomorrow night at Grace Community Church. Going to be kind of a big deal. I think you want to be out there for that. It's going to be a good show.
Yes, sir.
And all of it's supporting the Historical Society. So big thank you to Guy for coming out and doing that and helping us out in Grace Community Church and everybody involved with that event, helping us make that happen.
Thanks, Guy.
Something else I was going to mention, and I just completely spaced on it. I don't remember what it was. Oh, well. We'll figure it out.
And it's gone.
It'll pop up about 10:30 today. I'll be like, that's what it was I was going to say. And it's the story of my life. But anyway.
You're just going to be sitting there at 10:30. Donkey box!
I kind of want to see donkey basketball again. I know we did a whole thing on that a while ago, but when you say donkey boxing, it goes right to donkey basketball for me. And I think that's still a thing in some places. But that was like a deal when I was a kid in high school. They had donkey basketball. And literally, they brought donkeys, and people rode donkeys and played basketball on the court. I'm sure athletic directors across the land were mad because I remember right, the donkeys pooped, and the donkeys do poop on the court there, and yeah. So, but that's what I always go.
It just brings me to wonder, what other sports can we incorporate donkeys into? I mean, donkey wrestling, donkey judo. At this point, I'm just thinking combat sports, but
well, something
donkey volleyball.
Well, I think
donkey sand volleyball that would present a challenge.
Donkey jousting.
Oh, donkey! Yeah, but
donkey jousting.
But I feel like
the state sport of Maryland.
It is. Jousting is the official state sport of Maryland.
Oh wow!
It looks a little different than what you think, though. Well, it's not the two riders in the night outfits. They got a little ring that they gotta get the joust through.
Well, with the donkeys and all, it is a little different.
It is.
Have you ever met a donkey?
Not personally, no.
You'll find out.
They're a bit of an ass, I've heard.
Yeah.
They are known for their stubbornness.
A bit.
They're a little on the mean side and not cooperative.
But and you got to feel bad for the poor guy that's going to clean up the basketball court at the end of that game.
Exactly. But to me, that's half the fun. Is maybe the donkey don't want to do it. What are you going to do? Because you're going to sit here.
I've just heard the phrase, I had to pee like a donkey. And I've
never heard that.
You never heard that?
I've heard racehorse.
Racehorse, donkey.
I've never heard donkey.
I've definitely heard donkey. It's maybe more of a southern colloquialism. But,
I guess so.
But my point is that's going to be a messy court at the end.
Yeah, you'll be slipping in that.
That's right.
Yeah. Donkey doo-doo.
You know, like one slips in donkey doo.
We call that the donkey dunk.
People who raise goats keep donkeys.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Because they're so mean, they chase off the coyotes.
Nice.
You ever lived next?
It's all,
there's a sport
synergy.
right there. Goat rounding up.
There you go.
Like Shetland dogs. Sheep.
There you go.
My neighbors, when we lived just outside of town, owned a peacock. Apparently, that's like a thing. Like people like keep as like a bird of like prey because they're really mean, but they're also very, very loud at 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You noticed?
Was it a male or a female?
I don't know, but it was very loud.
Was it colorful?
I think it was.
It was probably a male.
So it was a male.
The females aren't the colorful ones. The males
if
are.
they all make that god awful sound at 5:30 in the morning, it's terrible.
Yeah, the males are the ones with all the colors, so they can attract the females. Hence the term peacocking.
Oh yeah, makes sense now. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, it is 9:15. I'm done with my Gee Whiz information. Time for your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're looking good through the holiday weekend. High pressure and dry air in place. It will be pretty hot, though. Our afternoon high today in the low to mid 90s. Lots of sunshine. Clear tonight, and we're in the upper 60s, and then about 100 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and we stay sunny. We're expecting low 100s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Labor Day. Should get lots of sun. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 73 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. 94 under sunny skies for today. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 66. That's good. Below 70. A little cooler tonight. That's a good thing. East winds around 5 miles per hour. Back near 100 under sunny skies for you Thursday. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, 101 for a high. Winds out of the south at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then looking at your Labor Day weekend for you Saturday, sunny with highs right around 100. Sunday, sunny skies, high of 99. And for Labor Day Monday, sunny, hot, 100 for a high there. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Ted Smith officially will join us here talking American Legion Post 61 business. That's up next. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70, but when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment, so schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-7050 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key. Roswell Skin Center is here to provide comprehensive skin care to southeastern New Mexico in a friendly and warm environment. Dr. Cometti and his team continue to offer a full scope of medical and cosmetic dermatology services, from treating skin cancer to helping you look your best. Roswell Skin Center is proud to introduce Anna Ingalls, licensed esthetician who specializes in cosmetic treatments including laser rejuvenation, hair removal, facials, chemical peels, and more. Anna is accepting new patients, and when you schedule your first treatment, you can receive $50 off and begin earning valuable discounts to be enjoyed throughout the year. Schedule with Anna by calling 575-208-2509. And for more info on our services and rewards, go to roswellskin.com.
New Mexico can be safer, and we can protect our loved ones from gun-related injuries when we lock up our guns. New Mexico has one of the highest rates of gun violence in the country, with numbers nearly 2 times higher than the national average. But safe gun storage is a proven strategy that reduces gun violence in all our communities. Protect New Mexico by securing your firearms. Visit safestoragenm.org to learn more. Brought to you by the New Mexico Department of Health.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, not talking Walker Aviation today. I mean, we may meticulate there a little bit here, but predominantly to talk some American Legion Post 61 with us. Ted Smith's back with us. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Every day's a holiday in beautiful Roswell, New Mexico.
There you go. Well, I was just thinking, do we need to get you out of here, right after, so you can, because are you heading to go hold down the fort at the museum after this? Or?
Actually, I am, yeah.
So if you're waiting to go see the museum, Ted will be there in just a little bit to help you out here. He's got a little previous engagement at the moment here. So, but when Ted is not being a member and volunteer and working with the Walker Aviation Museum, one of his other passions is American Legion, and he's been a member of our American Legion Post 61 for a couple of years here now, almost as long as we've been around. But So, Ted, great to have you come in on this capacity today. So
Thanks.
Good thing.
Stephen Lee's usually here, right?
Yeah.
Our commander, but he's out of town in Charlotte.
Yeah, I think they're doing Legion business in Charlotte, if I remember right, too.
Right.
So.
He's a bigwig in the district and region and national level also. It could be he's getting ready to run for Grand Poobah.
He could be.
Yeah.
He could be. He's got, like, as you get higher up in the levels of Legion on the different, your hat colors change, and he's got all the rainbow of color hats.
Yeah, he's special.
he does. But for folks that don't know, American Legion Post 61, we have two great Legion posts here in Roswell, Post 28, Post 61. Post 61 meets on the first Thursday of every month at First United Methodist Church, 6 p.m. And, of course, actually they meet every Thursday with the auxiliary and stuff. They're doing their charity bear projects. And so pretty much every Thursday, Legion's there representing at the church. But our official meetings are that first Thursday of the month. So next Thursday, 1 week from tomorrow, will be our next meeting at 6 p.m. Love to invite everyone to come out if you're interested in learning more or becoming a Legionnaire. And we'll probably get into this a little bit here, though. You know, one thing that kind of is the deal about American Legion is of all the veteran organizations and all the stuff, VFW, there's a lot of great stuff out there, but the American Legion is the official because we're sanctioned by Congress, created by Congress. So when it comes to the ear of legislation and veterans things, American Legion kind of is more of the lightning rod for that, or the beacon for that kind of stuff.
Definitely the old guard.
Yes.
It was formed by a bunch of guys in Paris, France in 1919.
Yeah, this is based off the Foreign Legion, basically, is kind of the example that the American Legion is based off.
Well, we were very what's the word I'm looking for? We don't use the word isolationist today, the way they did then. We had oceans to protect us from bad guys.
There wasn't internets and things that made the world much smaller like it is today.
So we didn't have to get involved in Europe's wars and things like that. And the American public saw no reason to, and they were right.
Matter of fact, this country was founded on all that. When you talk our four founding fathers and, the Monroe Doctrine, we were kind of like, we want to be left to our own devices until the world kind of forced it otherwise. But that was kind of the plan.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And these guys who were, from all over the United States, they were doing their hitch in the service in Europe during the war. They saw things that we have never seen. They saw, mass starvation. They saw, whole cities destroyed in war and all that.
And that's not even getting to the Holocaust stuff. You know what I mean? That's before we even get to that side of it.
Right. The war crimes were incredible, and socialism was an issue. Socialists infiltrated the French armed forces and tried to unionize them. And so they had a bunch of French troops who mutinied and decided they weren't going to fight anymore until their conditions were met. They did the same thing to the Germans, and they formed soldiers' committees. And there were, at the very end, there were many German units that just called it quits because the troops voted them out.
They didn't believe in the cause.
Right. And socialism was really foreign to us, and it was showing up in the States. That's not to be confused with social securities. To be a socialist, you have to expect that you will destroy capitalism. There'll be no more joint stock companies, nothing. Well, it doesn't work. Never has. And it always, in those times, came with tremendous bloodshed. Russia fell apart. Germany had a civil war too. It goes on and on. So these guys came home with a warning for everyone. Let's be careful that we don't slip into that. And
here we sit.
Well, the Legion, like you and I, they're not party affiliated, right?
Nope.
It's about our constitutional process, and that's what one of the things the Legion's strong on is reminding people. Now, our local post here, I got to tell you, it's a good post to be in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad about the others because I don't know them.
Right.
But the fact is, we don't have a bar. I don't know if the other ones do. I don't know if the other ones do or don't. But the point is that the folks who set up our post recognize that so much of the crime and things that destroy families here that we see are related to alcohol and drugs. And so this post isn't going to contribute to that. And so they don't have the giant fund of, money stashed away that some of them do.
We very much, we rely on donations and the kindness of others, and we try to pick passion projects that benefit the community overall. That's kind of what, I mean, obviously we have Memory Lawn Cemetery we've kind of taken over as a thing, and to this day we're still working, and we thank to all the people. But yeah, you're right. That's kind of where we lie a lot with the kids in schools doing stuff, things like that. Obviously with the holidays, we're always, raising money and getting donations for turkeys and giving them to all the other charitable organizations that are kind of the boots on the ground, helping people in need kind of stuff. So we're trying to really support them as best we can. That's kind of what we do.
They're a really grassroots kind of outfit. And
yeah.
So if you're a veteran out there and you want to be in a post that's trying to make a difference, look us up.
Sure.
We'd be glad to have you.
Well, here's another unique portion of American Legion Post 61 family, and this is why we call it family. American Legion, there's different sects of the American Legion. The people, the veteran that served and all that, they're the Legionnaire. We have auxiliary, which is the spouse of the veteran. And I say spouse. Men are in the auxiliary too. It's not just women. They're both in both. Very much part of that. The only one that's gender specific is our sons. And you do have to be a male descendant of a veteran to qualify to be in the Sons of the American Legion. But we have 3 active branches as part of our family, and we all work and it's not uncommon if you go to, because American Legion's all over the place, and so some posts handle that, separate entities, separate deals. Ours, yes, separate money, separate tentpole projects, but
we work together.
Everything else comes together. Veterans Day, our fundraising events, you're going to see our sons, our Legionnaires, and our auxiliary all together. We're very much a family union. There isn't that separation that sometimes happens with other units.
Our sons are very thriving, too. I'm amazed at the things they do, especially considering that they're not typically veterans.
Not always. You're right.
This is...
And then some are both. Like guys like me and you are our dads served, so we qualify as both. So, but that's not always the case for folks. Some have military, their dads served, and they went in a different direction, but they obviously grew up in a household that knew a little bit about veterans and military and understand what that person goes through and wants to support that. So.
The VFW is different. They take people who've been sent off to combat.
Yeah,
and
they're a little more stringent on the windows of who's eligible and who isn't. For American Legion, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but if you are a veteran that served anything other than dishonorable, since pretty much Pearl Harbor, you're eligible to be a Legionnaire. Where VFW, you have to serve in certain periods of combat action and stuff to qualify.
A lot of people who don't know think that the Legion's closed to them because they only served for a couple of years in the 60s or something and didn't go anywhere.
No, if you served basically, I think I can't remember the official thing, but it's like basic and some. It's really 6 months. You did even if you were only in less than a year and then you got put out medically or something, you still qualify to be a Legionnaire. You signed on the dotted line and you did your duty to the best of your abilities for as long as you're able to, and so you do qualify as a Legionnaire.
You don't realize it when you're 17 and you're signing your contract, but you're signing with your own blood.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this is the thing, and I've said it 100 times, and you don't realize what you're sacrificing when you sign that contract saying you're going to be a member of the United States military. You basically take the Constitution and throw it out the window for you. That Constitution really doesn't apply to you in the rules anymore. You fall under UCMJ, which rules are a little different than your constitutional rights there.
Yeah, you waive certain rights in order to have the privilege of serving.
And exactly. And oh, by the way, you're government property now, and if your life is what's needed to defend this country, then guess what? You just volunteered to sacrifice it. And sure, that we can all say, but no, anybody, combat zones, how many people signed up to be cooks and ended up being killed in action because the action came to them? I mean, it's every role in the military, whether you're a person with a gun or a person with a wrench, it doesn't matter. It's a vital part of it, and every bit of it defends the values and principles that this country was founded on. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Getting me all choked up now. Okay, we support PAC 61, a Cub Scout troop.
Yes.
Grades 2 to 4. Parents, what I want you to know is that parents serve in the leadership positions and roles in that PAC. This, I'd be concerned about dropping my kids off with a bunch of strangers. Well, no, you're in it with them. If you want that kind of a Cub Scout PAC where you're participating with your boys and girls, this is for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have anything to do with the Legion to be in that PAC.
No. Now, we offer, because we help out with the families for uniforming and things like that. If you're a veteran and want to be a Legionnaire too, we do give you perks for that. But like you said, if you have a child, we have a Boy Scout troop and a Cub Scout PAC that we sponsor. The Cub Scout PAC meets at First United. The Boy Scout actually meet at the Scout Hut. That's if you know scouts and stuff, you see the Scout Hut around here. You know what I'm talking about. But like you said, great leadership, great part of that. But it's separate completely from you don't have to be a Legionnaire or affiliated whatsoever with Legionnaire to be a part of that Scout PAC. But if you join those PACs or troop and you want to be Legionnaire, we do a little bit stuff there too. But that's part of the community thing, right? Fostering these youth. The Boy Scout PAC or troop actually kind of fell into our lap. It was it was a historical legacy troop, and sponsorships kind of got changed, and so we kind of came in and said, we'll be the sponsor to keep the tradition going because
cool.
So that's really why our Boy Scout troop is. We started with the Cub Scout PAC, and we're like, well, we're going to convert them to Boy Scouts and go with them. But
when they grow.
But then life happened, and we said, well, we need your help, and we said, well, yeah, we'll do it. So that's how we end up with one of each.
Okay. So our website is roswelllegion.org. That's 3 L's in a row.
Yes. And there you can go and scholarships. We have a scholarship program where if you are a veteran yourself or a descendant of a veteran and you're pursuing STEM-related career fields, which is pretty broad, anything that's science, math, engineering, and have a military background, we encourage you to apply for that. There's not really a window per se. It's kind of you fill out your applications, and as we get enough, we award some money as we see fit there. But we've given out, and thanks to some generous donors, thousands of dollars to some folks that way too. But if you go to roswelllegion.org, where Ted's pointing you can read more about that there too.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a veteran, by the way, and you're not a Legionnaire or nothing don't worry about it. If you're having difficulties with the VA, with your rating and things like that, that's what we're here for. We have a service officer, and we'll help you redo your paperwork. That system is complicated, and as I found out when I got blown up, my brains were kind of scrambled, and I couldn't do the paperwork. If it wasn't for my wife carrying me through it, then it wouldn't have happened.
Sure.
She became a service officer and then went to law school so she could keep helping veterans.
That's awesome. So basically, she found her calling probably by accident through you.
Yeah, it was quite an accident. Awesome. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, and obviously, I'm so sorry for what you have to go through, but there's a bit of a silver lining in that story.
Oh, there sure is.
That's what I love about that.
Oh, by the way, I don't see that as a bad day.
Yeah.
Everybody I took on that patrol came home alive.
Yeah.
The kid who was really injured, I had him in surgery within an hour. In the Army, that's a win.
Yes.
That's
You're absolutely right.
Didn't have to apologize to anybody's mommy. Now, we're still doing farmers market.
As long as we got probably another maybe a month left here. They'll wrap up here towards the end of September usually.
Yeah.
Every Saturday morning, come on out and I'm telling you now, we do the baked goods. Like some of our, and I think it's auxiliary folks. They're the ones behind the bacon. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it's them. They usually do brownies or cookies or something, and I'm telling you, they're gone by like 8 o'clock. The thing starts at 7, and it doesn't matter how many they make. They could make dozens. They're gone. They can make 2. They're gone. It just doesn't matter. So if you want the baked goods, get there early. But if you want to learn more and all that, we'll be there till 11 and stuff and all that good stuff.
We're looking for sponsors for the Veterans Day Parade on November 11th. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we'll be represented at the State Fair when that comes around.
Yeah, I know here in, usually was that first part of October, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, American Legion Post 61 will have a booth out at the usually in the commercial building there. If we have raffle tickets we have a pair of firearms we're doing a drawing for right now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do the drawing and announce the winners at the fair. If there are tickets left, you can buy them, but I don't know. I can't guarantee there will be tickets by the time the fair happens.
Yeah, you can't.
But by the way, I have some right here if you want. They're $20, or you can buy 6 right here. Yeah, got them right here if you want to buy them. But
yeah.
I think you're good. But I mean, just anybody listening. So, but yeah, they're doing it's a Glock 43X 9mm with 2 mags, and a Glock 42 380 with 2 mags. Tickets are $20 each, or you can buy 6 of them for $100. And then we'll do the drawing October 7th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Do not need to be present to win. But all the proceeds for that goes back to things like Memory Lawn, the Scouts, all those things we were just talking about. That's what that money gets used for. So if you want to, and we're not stupid. I mean, we say dumb things as guys in the military. We do, but overall, we're not stupid. We know that here in Southeast New Mexico, you do a thing for a gun, people will pay you money for that. So we said, well, if we can't beat them, join them. Let's go ahead and raise some money and put it to good use. And we are military folks. We know a thing or two about firearms. So,
these are home defense type weapons.
It's a good but it's a good thing. It's a great. So please, if you want, support us that way. It's a great thing. But look out for us at the fair if you want information and stuff. If you want to help out with the Veterans Parade, I know they have their parade meetings, and to be honest, I don't know when the next one is off the top of my head, but I can get you that information if you're interested. And if you're volunteering to help out on the vet, you do not have to be a veteran. If you just are a community member in Roswell and want to make sure we have a great Veterans Parade, that's all you need. You don't have to have the the time served in to say you want to do good things for veterans. There's no rule against that.
Yeah.
So if you want to support it, and please come to the meetings and help out. But I'll tell you more about them when I find out when the next meeting is. So
I want to go through the list real quick of the things that the Legion was formed for.
All right.
One was number 1, uphold and defend the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line on the Constitution is, so long as everything is done within the Constitution, we're good. Our founding fathers set it up so that we could take turns being in charge with elections. One-party states aren't free.
No.
Right? Never. So the idea is to take turns and do your fighting at the polls, at the polling booth, in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And that works. And that's why America is an exceptional nation. Look around the world.
Sure.
See how many countries have suspended their constitution.
Well,
just for a day.
Absolutely.
And they're never free again.
Well, I would argue, if you want proof of what Ted's talking about, what happens when one party's in power for a long period of time, I give you the state you live in, New Mexico. You want to know why we're last in everything? One party been running everything for a while. You need the balance. I don't care what side you're on. You got to have people in the room that disagree with you to get the good policies and the good government.
That's the trick of it.
Yep.
And I'm not party affiliated, and the Legion certainly isn't. The second thing about the Legion is maintain law and order.
Mm-hmm.
Support for that, and foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism. What does that mean? Well, what that means is just to support the Constitution.
Absolutely.
You see, if the last person from dog catcher to president was elected in the constitutional process, even when there's vote fraud, okay, and that's always been there, and the next one is elected through the constitutional process, everything's fine. everything is fine.
Sure.
And that is what people seem to not understand today.
And I would even
great take turns.
Absolutely. Well, and you look at what's going on in politics and who said and he said and she said and what said and who said where. Folks, especially younger folks that are seeing all this and are having their thoughts on the world and all that, this is not new. This is not new at all. I guarantee, as long as we've had parties in this in this system, this has been going on. This stuff was going on back 200 years ago, too. There just wasn't internet and things to make it available to everybody. They were accusing people of all kinds of stuff in these conventions, of adultery to this and that and everything else. It was down and dirty, shady. By the way, election fraud, both sides have been doing it for 100 years. Don't you remember just, less than 20 years ago when Bush W. got elected? And they were saying that election was rigged and fake votes and all. I mean, this is not new stuff we've been talking about here. This is all the same garbage that's been going on forever. Where the Americanism part comes in is to be above all that, to understand, to put through all that smoke and mirrors and all the crap that people put out there to try to throw you off your game. Go through all that and see where the real that's.
In the end, it doesn't matter who's elected,
exactly.
So long as they were elected.
It was done by the people of the choice, and the rest of it is all semantics.
Right.
And that's the part we got to understand.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. In any country where the Marine Corps picks their president, well, they're not free.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be.
Nope.
Nope. The nation of Turkey has it built into their constitution that at a certain level of discord, the armed forces must step in, establish a dictatorship, and reestablish a republic. Wow.
Yeah. So it's democracy or freedom with a safety valve, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you're free as long as you do it our way.
Turks call, tanks, the tanks they use in the army.
Yeah.
The Turkish people call them voting machines.
That's crazy. See,
we don't want to be that.
Well, and that's the thing that and you've experienced it. My time in the military showed me that same thing. You do not realize how good you have it in this nation. Your goals, your dreams, everything. Are we perfect? No. Do we have our share of problems? Yes. But go to another country and spend 6 months there, and I guarantee you'll be like, dang, America is the greatest country on this planet, and you're going to see why. I spent time in Kuwait. I spent time in these other places. I've spent time, even in free countries, Italy, Germany. I spent time in there, too. It's not the same as it is here in the United States of America.
No, you get in trouble in Germany if you barbecue on the wrong day in your own yard.
Yeah, exactly.
And they think they're free.
Yeah, and we're bringing that here, and that's the problem. But that's what Ted's talking about. The fight we're talking about here.
Our Constitution's a beautiful thing. I've forgotten how many times it's been amended. Right, about 30 some. Amazing. It is actually easy to amend.
Yeah.
And it's easy to re-amend. We went through that period in the 1920s where alcohol was,
the whole Prohibition era was constitutional amendments. One started it, one ended it.
Bingo. Right? The public can change anything they want.
Yeah.
You don't have to pass laws to undermine the Constitution or people's amendments. You just amend it.
Mm-hmm.
It is that simple. And then we're all with it. Because it's about the constitutional process.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest, the Bill of Rights are your first 10 revisions to the Constitution of the United States of America. Yeah. And that was done back then. So they saw it from the get-go, that it was a fluid document. It was a fluid document that's supposed to alter it. That's what makes it, arguably or unarguably, the greatest document on the world is that Constitution. Because of what, if... It even has some of the fail-safes to stop the greedy and stop. Is it perfect? No, but you know what?
You say fail-safe to stop the greedy. Number 6 in the Legion's charter was to combat the autocracy of the classes. Rich people exploiting people who can't protect themselves, and to combat the autocracy of the masses. That'll be the super liberal types who think they're going to tell everybody else how to live also.
Exactly, yeah.
It's It's not party related. It's all about doing the right thing and supporting that Constitution and making it work.
Extremism. Yeah, we fight extremism. That's on both sides. That's
bingo.
Yeah.
You know, and number 8 is to promote peace. How about that? You only have to get shot at once to figure out why that's important.
Yeah, we've been shot at and we've not been shot at. Being not shot at is better.
Yeah. You know, support the principles of freedom and democracy and justice. Yeah, that's what the Legion's about. And that's why Congress passed a law to make sure the Legion could, you know, was the real thing and it was going to stay, and it was the veterans organization.
Sure.
Congress got it. This whole business in World War I, I'll tell you real fast. How are we doing for time?
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes.
Our president was Woodrow Wilson, and he was one of the original progressives. And he had a strong international relations policy. He was alert to the world around us when the rest of us were closing our eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had his 14 points, his list of things that the United States wanted to see done as part of the Versailles Treaty. Number 13 of the 14 points was to reestablish the nation of Poland. The United States had a very large number of immigrants from Slavic countries.
Okay.
Czechoslovakia, Poland.
That Eastern Bloc-coded area, yeah.
Bosnia, these places, right? Well, Poland disappeared. Stopped being a country. The Germans, the Russians, and the Austrians divided it up, and it ceased to be a country. Well, the Polish people then, and still now, have a very strong reputation around Europe as hard workers. When they stopped being a country, they became the migrant workers of Europe.
Mm.
And at least 500,000 came to the United States. And very many of them went to Detroit. They weren't afraid to work outside of the fields, right?
Right.
And to this day, there are Polish people working all over Europe, and it's just a cultural subset. It's normal. But Mr. Wilson's barber was a Polish immigrant who told him some things about how terrible it was to have your freedom stripped away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And these people were constituents, you know, not just the Poles, all those people down there in the Slavic regions.
Sure.
So we fought for them, for their plight, you know, in the treaty, and got that country reestablished. And today, Russia's kind of threatening Poland again.
Mm-hmm.
Need to keep an eye on stuff like that. All those Polish people who got evicted by the Germans, so the Germans could set up Eastern Prussia, goes on and on. You know, and like it hurt us to pick up half a million Polish people in our country, right? It was fantastic.
Sure.
Hardworking folks from all over the world. That makes America great.
Absolutely. Well, and that's America. That's that melting pot we talked about. It's people. This country started because people in Europe were tired of the things going on in Europe, and they come here looking for a place to practice their freedoms and to do the things they want to pursue. Why do you think, you know, we say religion and all that? Sure. You know, that's the thing. There is no official church for here. Unlike other countries, it's like you're going to be Church of England or you're a heathen. You know, I mean, this we don't have all, and that's why this country is. And sure, you know, we have our disagreements and things, but that's what made it great, and that's what continued to make it great. And to be honest, the onus is on us now. We're the ones that we've got to be better. Now, technology makes it obviously trickier and things that were different back then, but the passion, the principle of what we're trying to do has not changed, and none of that has changed. And through all the smoke and mirrors and all the garbage you see on social media and all that, at the end of the day, we can still do these things. How much longer? I don't know. That's going to be up to us. Yeah. But that's what America is about. When we talk about showing Americanism, yeah, it's not about wearing an American flag on your T-shirt, which, by the way, is actually disrespecting the flag. But that's a whole other discussion altogether. Americanism is exactly the values you said. getting involved, having the freedom to choose, but when something's not right, saying something about it, and not having a fear of being shut down because it doesn't agree with. And that's what we're seeing now is we have sects of people that want to erase you because of your opinion on something. And that's been going on for a long time. We just see it because the world's a lot smaller and there's a lot more places to see it. And that has not changed. We just got to have the fortitude and gumption to know it, and it's back to principles, back to values. Do what you know is right. Doing those things, and if I guarantee if you stick to that, I promise you're going to come out all right in the end.
Oh, all of us will.
Yeah.
If everybody participates and
it's not easy.
Say what's on your mind,
Yeah. It's
I
not
bled
easy.
on an operating table so you can.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's the point.
Freedom's not. Freedom's easy to say you have. It's really hard to exercise it and defend it. It's easy to say freedom, but to actually practice it, that's the rub.
Right. It doesn't matter what your opinions are. Okay. It doesn't, because you get to have them. Mm-hmm. There was that really bad joke from the 50s where the American guy says, I'm free because I can go to the steps of the White House and say anything bad I want to about President Johnson. And the Russian guy says, well, I'm free too because I can go to the steps of the Kremlin and say anything bad I want to about President Johnson.
There's so much truth. I'm laughing, but there's so much truth in that statement. Wow. But you're right. That's the thing. And that's what makes this hard, and that's what makes it great. But keep fighting.
So long as we keep having elections.
Yeah.
And
That's
do
it.
it right.
And your power, and I know that it is real. The power is your vote. When you go into that voting booth in November or whenever you do it, that is your power. That is your and I know people live in this world voting, and because everyone tries to tell you what to do with your vote. And this is why I get so mad when people say this kind of garbage about wasting your votes. You need to vote this way because you're just going, one vote for this guy means, that's the garbage that parties put into you to get you to see their garbage. You vote your heart. You vote who you think are the right people in, and you keep doing that. I do it, and I don't play that stupid game. I'm tired of that mess. That's the stuff the Republicans and Democrats created to get you to think and be like them. And that's not America.
Right. You broke the code. If everybody does the right thing,
yes,
as they feel it, our country works out fine, and we take turns doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And what happens is, you need strong economy and all that, okay? And you need strong social securities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By taking turns, we managed to find a compromise that works.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not going to get everything you want, nor will the other guy. But we got to find a way where we all can work, coexist, and at the same time be the best dang country in the world. And our forefathers and people before us have figured out it's our job to keep that going.
Right.
Do it.
Oh, those are some funny-looking guys wearing powdered wigs, right?
Yeah.
But apparently they like to fight, and they knew they were going to fight each other, and they found us a way to get by without doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are so fortunate for it. I looked it up. I interviewed an Iraqi prisoner once, and explained to him that in the United States, if we don't like what our president does, we just have another election, and we get a new president.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been telling him that the moon was square.
We just didn't understand that concept.
Could not comprehend it because he came from a place, literally since the beginning of recorded time, right? They started recording on clay tablets.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the world is ruled by a warrior king, and you have no call on what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible. Oh, yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Sure it is. And you know what? It's possible here, too, if you keep your head in the sand.
Yeah.
Keep your head in the sand.
You know,
and watch it happen here.
And, if it's time, we'll get a new president.
Yep.
And we don't have to kill anybody to do it. Amen.
And your power to fix that is to vote your heart, vote smart, and vote what you do. Do not listen to these people telling you you're wasting your vote one way or another because a vote for this guy means a vote. This is the crap that got us in this mess to begin with. Vote who you think is the right person to do the job. And if you get it wrong, then we'll do it again in 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the point of this. And don't let these people tell you waste your vote. If you're voting for the person you believe is the right person to do that job, then you did your duty and you did good.
Amen. That's
Everyone else that tells you different can politely give them the bird and walk away.
Well, you know, Stan Freeman, the famous economist, said people vote with their feet.
Yep.
And that's why so many people are coming over the border.
Exactly.
They would like to vote for a better life.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we got to do it the right way, again. And we got to mitigate it so that the people that with nefarious intents don't slip through with the good guys, basically. That's the problem. Well, Ted, thank you as much. I know you got to get to your thing, and if I don't shut this down, you and I will get going long past Clay and Buck and into and into Levin and everybody else. So we better stop doing it.
I get a kick out of Levin. He's a legend.
His voice is grating, but he does say good things.
Well, I saw his TV show years ago. He was sitting in a dark studio in a suit, and some other guy came and sat down with him, and I thought, oh, Mr. Monotone. But boy, you got to the radio, and now he's shrieking. And
he hurts my ears, but he does say good things.
Yeah, he does.
Ted, as always, appreciate it.
Thanks,
we'll see
sir.
you next time, whether it's a Legion hat or a Walker hat. We'll see you next time here.
Wow.
So. All right, it is 9:57. Let's do a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. economy didn't grow as much as thought in the second quarter, the government revising the rate of growth downward from 2.4 to 2.1%. One airline believes passengers will pay extra to sit away from babies and young children.
Corendon Airlines says it'll sell an adults-only zone, no one under 16 allowed, on flights between Amsterdam and Curacao starting in November. The Turkey-based airline announced last week it'll set aside about 100 seats for adults on its Airbus A350 jets, which have 432 seats in all. A wall or curtain will separate the section from the rest of the passengers in back.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House reporting. Following yesterday's stock market rally, Wall Street's benchmarks began the morning with modest gains. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate. The scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes. And insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow.